to the Jaguar, the Band Dog Show. I'm your host, the student, Jalik the student. We're gonna get right into it. Shout out to Lee Robinson. He gave me the exclusive information. Most of I just checked the website. It is updated. So we're gonna talk about the rest of the breedings strictly from American Sentinels on Lee Robinson Yard. For those who new to the channel, like I say, I have an American Sentinel, was founded by Lee, year 2000, almost 30 years old, yada, yada, yada. Okay? So you also, if you hear me say Deep South Sentinels, that's Ryan Keaton. So Lee Robinson's yard, he has a lot of nice prospects. So we're gonna talk about his new studs and new females that's gonna be breeding. It's a total of 9 breeding, so I should be able to get through it because I don't want to rush each breeding. Now I usually do the what you call I usually do the percentages breakdowns, but I'm not gonna do that right now. I can do that if I have time. I can do it. Because I gotta do some calculations. So I didn't plan on doing it, but I will say like an estimate of how much pit bull blood for those who new to it, and this, because I'm sure it's people across the whole world that want an American Sentinel. So hopefully this video helps you out. Disclaimer: if you want to help the algorithm, just smash the thumbs up and go there. So Cobalt. So before we get into the Cobalt biscuit, for those who don't know or those who know, I just want to let you know, Cobalt is Frankie Bomp's son. So Lee Robinson, I think he was born in 2000, took Frankie Bump to David Ishii's female named Pele. So that's like a double outcross, because when you just bring a pit bull in, that's kind of outcrossing. And then now he brought other blood from outside of the Sentinel blood to create Cobalt. Okay? So Cobalt is phenomenal. He like a if he played football, he would be like a free safety. He real strong, but a big free safety. A free safety that's fast and powerful, or a strong safety, but hit real hard like a linebacker with excellent pain tolerance. And he has one of my favorite colors. I don't know if he's technically considered all black, but he looked like it. I don't know if he's considered brindle. I don't know. He has one of my favorite colors of all time, the black brindle, which is, it's hard to get that color right there. Okay, so that's Cobalt. I personally know. Shout out to my man Chris. He has a female. She probably, let me see. We in November. So he has a female, Ruby. We're in November, so let me see. December, January, February, March. So she about a year and 4 months old. Yeah, she was born a month before my girl. Yeah, so she's a good dog, great prospect. And he started her on nose work. Cobalt and Voodoo. He started on nose work. I think he told me she around about 70 pounds, which is a good solid size. You know what I mean? She's not huge. She's like a normal, kind of a normal size in a sense for a female. Okay? He started on nose work, but he just let me know a few days ago that starting at the end of April, he's gonna do some protection work with a gentleman. I forgot his name. Lee was able to put him in contact with him. It's a guy in New York. I forget his name off the top of my head. He's gonna be doing protection work with him. So I say, yeah, I think she'll do good. So sound like the guy that he's working with is experienced. So I'm sure that'll be a good experience for her. Because just from the little, it's hard unless you meet a dog in person, you don't know. But based on like certain things people tell you about a dog, you kind of get a idea of how they are. So that's Cobalt and Voodoo's daughter, and then I know Cobalt and Onyx. So that's that one. So looking at Cobalt and Biscuit, right? Cobalt and Biscuit, and let me see if I can make it easier. Let me see if I can share my screen. Let me read the comments before we get started. Yeah, there you go. There you go, Chris. Yeah. Gail Raponi, yeah. Tough Enough Kennels, that's it, yep. That's it, yep. Gail Raponi. So I look forward to that one. I said he's got some videos, we'll see it, yeah. And like I said, when you get a Sentinel, don't just put your Sentinel in a box. So if you want to do If you want to do nose work, do it. Nobody's saying that they're gonna be a bloodhound, or nobody's saying that they're gonna be nose work like who else got the good nose work? Like the shepherds, but you still can build them up. That'll put them in a different level. You know what I'm saying? It's like if you got a son and you plan on your son playing football, why not let your son play soccer? Or why not let your son play gymnastics? Because the soccer workouts, we all know soccer, you got to be in crazy shape. So why not let them do soccer? Why not let them do gymnastics and build up different muscle groups so that when he get to football, he's going to already be advanced and already going to have built up his confidence. So that's why it's important to do other things besides the actual thing that you want to concentrate on. And nose work is the funnest. Between protection and nose work is like so fun to me. Like, you know what I mean? It's amazing. So shout out to Chris for doing that. Smart guy. And you'll see how certain things carry over. Even in nutrition, if you get your dog in shape, that's gonna carry over. If you training your dog, that you letting them hunt, it's gonna carry over. So let me see if I can share the screen with y'all real quick. Let me go to the screen because Lee did make it easier for us, and we'll be on there. And make sure y'all, when y'all get a chance, make sure y'all subscribe to Lee's chat and forum, because social media is great, but we know they're restricted on certain videos you can put up there. Lee is not restricted because it's his own website. So a lot of the hog hunting and different things like that one. So let me get right into this real quick and get right into the Cobalt and Biscuit. I get excited, y'all. I get excited talking about these breedings. This is so fun to me. You know what I'm saying? And not only do I get excited, I love the steps of a person getting a dog and see their dog, you know what I'm saying? Because I remember Chris was leaving comments in the videos, and then he eventually got her. And now she a year and 4 months already, so it's like an amazing thing to see people start off. It's like a seed, you know what I'm saying? Because you know the connections between, you know, we love our dogs, you know? We love our dogs. So let me bring up the screen for the Cobalt and the Biscuit. Let me see how it's there on my screen. No guess. If any of y'all wanted to join up on here and talk some stuff and ask some questions, let me know. But make sure you ask as many questions as you can. Okay, here we go. Bam. Bam. Let me see make sure this is working. Bam. Okay, there we go. So there we go. So let me just do it there so I can look at it. Okay, so there we go. Yo, what's up, my man? Inquisitives, what's happening, man? I see a lot of people starting to support more. I appreciate y'all. So here we go. So we got Cobalt and Biscuit, y'all. Cobalt and Biscuit is due May the 2nd, right? So starting with Cobalt, like I said, this is an extra outcast. He got the all black. He looked like Frankie. To be honest with you, if you look at his face, he looked like Ranger too. Frankie be leaving a mark. Frankie Bump, for those who don't know, a lot of the Lee's pit bull program, a lot of the dogs is based on a Frankie Bump line from Madison Parker, and I forget Madison Parker's line. Madison Parker used to work directly with Bert Sorrells. Lee got so many videos on that. So yeah, so you see Frankie right there. I mean, you see Cobalt right there, right? So they do around May 2nd. So around June 7th, 27th, you know, right? Well, y'all be a month from school letting out. You can go pick your dog up there. So it looks like, shout out to Aaron. Seth already got a male up there. So you got some males available. Second pick, third pick, and there you go. I do know somebody that got a male that was a runt from Slam and Biscuit from 2024. That's my man. He's in Wisconsin. His dog was the runt, and guess what? His dog was the runt male, and he told me that his dog is 90 pounds. So just because your dog is a runt, that doesn't mean something. A 90-pound male is kind of like A lot of them, especially with the high percentage of pit bull, that's that's kind of like how the range is starting to be. So to be the runt and still be that size, I'm starting to think, okay, so how is it going to be with Cobalt and Biscuit? Now we know Lucky Seven, which is in the bloodline of Slam, because Slam was Slam was Lucky Seven in Patches. Okay, so naturally you say they'll be bigger. However, Patches is big and Pele was big, so you never know who they're gonna take after. So the puppies possibly may be a little bit smaller, but that's just a size thing. You know what I mean? If you want a dog over 100 pounds, then most of these dogs ain't gonna be like over 100. You know what I mean? So you might, if you want to, like we was talking about yesterday, you want a 130-pound bug, go buy one of those those dogs off the internet. That's like 140 pounds. So these colors right there, you're gonna get the black, you're gonna get the brindles, you're gonna get the fawns, and like I said, he said Grom is a good dog too. It seems like the people that be growing up on the farms and outside the city, their dogs be developing different, you know. And he does a lot of stuff right there. And I believe he told me he was going to be hunting soon or something, because the guy that has him also was dealing with pit bulls too. So, and Biscuit, she's a big girl too. She like 85 pounds. And her bloodline, for those who don't know, Biscuit comes from her daddy's is Scratch, and her mom is Halo. So it was a son to mother breeding with Scratch and Halo created Biscuit. Now let me tell you something about that breeding as well. Shout out to my man Bird. You know always be calling my man Bird out. Bird has Biscuit's litter mate. His name is Cairo. Cairo a beast. Like Cairo is like high energy. Bowdy, he lean. I think he about 90. He be walking around with like 10. He be walking around with 10 pound collars and everything. And if you know my man Bird, he really be walking like that. He take his walking game serious. So their dogs is like real high energy type of dogs that can do predator defense, hog hunting, and protection work. You know what I'm saying? So all you gotta do is get yourself with the right decoy, and they should be able to pick that up pretty quickly. You know what I mean? And then I also seen another Lee put up a video where a guy was looking for a decoy, and he was looking for where it worked. So that was a good breeding right there. So that breeding right there, shout out to Aaron. He gonna get his female, and you'll have yourself a nice package right there. You know what I mean? You'll have yourself a nice package, and they like I said, they'll be due May the 2nd. So why not? If that's what you're looking for, but you got different choices too. So why not, if you add in a different dog, and this is like I said, you might be another person that has another program and you want to add some different blood in there, and you like the outcrossiness of it. You know what I'm saying? Because Lee's program is tightly line bred. This one, like I said, because of the addition of Cobalt, which is Frankie, Bob, and Pele, that's like a double outcross in a sense. That brings it, that brings that outcrossness to the lines. You know what I'm saying? So that's right there. So let me take this screen off for you real quickly. And you know what? Let me just get into the next one. The next one, we talking about Ranger and Makita. Shout out to my dog Ranger. I told you they look alike, right? If you look at his face, you see Cobalt. You see Cobalt face, and Ranger, that's his brother. Half brother. I think Cobalt is older than Ranger too. I think Ranger is bigger than Cobalt though, but Cobalt is shorter and crazy pain tolerance. And Ranger, you see Ranger right there. You got Ranger and Makita. They do May the 14th, so 2 weeks later, Ranger and Makita. We all know about Ranger, but if you're new to the channel, Ranger is from what I've seen, he's producing already great, because he produced good with Onyx. And he produced good with Elsa. And we're going to talk about the Ranger and Elsa breeding in a little bit. So you got Ranger, which is Frankie Bump, and Valkyrie. Valkyrie is Halo's mother. Valkyrie is Justice's full sibling. She's also Tiggy's full sibling. Tiggy is the mother of Reptar and Widow. You get what I'm saying? You see how the line breeding goes? So Valkyrie, Justice, which is one of the biggest producers in American Sentinel history, his full sibling sister Valkyrie got together with Frankie, and he was the lone survivor off of that. He was the only one that survived off of that. I think he going on. I think he'd be 5 years old in next month. So shout out to Ranger. You know what I mean? Real great prey drive. Dog aggressive. So if you like I say, if you the type person that don't have no control or no idea what you're doing, you may just want to go to the shelter and buy yourself a rescue dog. And I said buy it because those rescue dogs are not free, okay? Start off with that one. Now, if you got some experience, you don't got to be perfect, and you willing to learn, then you're going to have something you're going to have to deal with. So you're going to have to create some type of boundaries. You can't just get the dog and let it roam free and do anything. These are working dogs that loves to work. And Lee is expecting these dogs to be from 75 to 90 pounds, with females being 65 to 90. Hold on 1 second, guys. 1 second. Yeah, so Makita, so back to Makita. Makita looks just like her dad, right? So shout out to Danger. You know Danger, that's Ryan's dog. Ryan Keaton with Deep South Sentinel. So that's Makita's daddy is Danger. And one thing about Danger, his dogs always look like him. Like his dogs always look like him. Their phenotype, they just look like little Danger. So you got Danger is her daddy. Her mom was a dog named Hops. Now Hops is, you see how everything is kind of related? Hops's mom was a litter mate to Cobalt. Her name was Ebony. She was small in stature, so Lee took her to Justice, and we all know Justice, who Justice is. So for this bloodline, you got the Justice blood, you got the Valkyrie blood, Lucky 7, Widow, Danger. You got all this right here. And once again, you guys are lucky if you're looking for a brindle, because we all know two fawns don't make no brindles. You know what I'm saying? So if you got your mind made up on you only want a certain color, if you only want brindle, one of the dogs is going to have to be a brindle. If not, then you're not going to get no brindle dogs. I never seen it happen. Two fawns make no brindle. Now, of course, two brindles can make a fawn. So you got Makita right there, and size-wise, like you said, Lee said they should be around 75 and 90 pounds, and 65 and 80 for the females right there. So that's Ranger and Makita due March the 14th. And here we go right here. My baby girl, Onyx. Shout out to Onyx. Shout out to Onyx. Shout out to Onyx. Let's give you a breakdown of Onyx for those who don't know. Onyx is one of the greatest, producers. Leah probably tell you with females. She's a great producer. She's a great worker. She's real protective. She's Jaguar's grandma because her daughter, Lady Smith, is Jaguar's mom. She's also my girl's grandmom because Chakra's mom is Hair Trigger. Hair Trigger's mom is Onyx. So both of my dogs, I'm fortunate to have the Onyx blood in both of my dogs. You know what I mean? And Onyx is a big girl. She probably close to 100 pounds. And she been working. You know what I mean? And you can see she real. I can just look at her. I don't know exactly. Lee would have to tell you this. But it looks like she got a nice off switch. But she just be real protective. Now Lee hasn't done a combination with Onyx to a pit bull since 4 years ago, which was Lucky 7 to Onyx, which created Hair Trigger, my girl's mother, and Vicious, which is Congo's, and we're going to talk about Congo in a minute. Congo's daddy, Vicious. Rest in peace. He had an accident with a hog, but I remember seeing him because he was born like a couple weeks before Jaguar, and I used to look at the videos. I like, this dude was coming out strong. So to see him, and not only that, he was big too. He was almost 100 pounds. So rest in peace to Vicious. But so the last time Lee done that was in 2022. Now prior to that one, we gonna call it an outcross because you mixing the pit bull blood with a Sentinel. He done it in 2000 with Frankie Bump. Frankie Bump created Nova, and we gonna talk about Nova later. And Frankie Bump and Agnes also created Honey. Shout out to my man Britt, because that's his dog, Honey, and she's a good producer as well. In fact, she had a recent breeding with Fury. I was telling people to jump on it, but you know, and he's just basically saying, and Boomer been producing, bro. Boomer, listen, Boomer with Bandit got Lee got the pit bull Bam Bam. If y'all haven't seen a video with Bam Bam, go look at that video. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's May the 14th. Yeah, Lee, what's happening, Lee? Yeah, you right. Yeah, shout out to Lee. Did it say March or did it say? Let me see. I think you said it up there. May 14th. Yeah, May 14th. Yeah, May. I might have accidentally said March, but I know it's May because we already. Yeah, so it's May. So you got Boomer. So I'm looking forward to this one because Boomer been producing, man. Boomer been producing. He produced Lee's Pitbull Riot with Bacody. He got Bam Bam. Bam Bam was bad. Bam Bam. It's something about Bam Bam. That dude is different, man. Bam Bam was like, man, he's a different type dog, man. he act like he do protection, and you know a lot of people don't like their pit bulls to do protection. I'm glad Lee like that, so that's why I like dogs like to do protection. But Bam Bam is just like a character, man. He look like he could do anything. Like he just look like he just cool, you know. He look like he just a cool dog to be around, Bam Bam. So that's Bam Bam's daddy is Boomer. So if Boomer is going to regular pit bulls and Miss Bandit, so now you put him with a Onyx, man. This thing right here. Shout out to my man Fred too. It looked like Fred gonna get one. Shout out to my man Fred in Louisiana. Listen, bruh. So for the people that want, cause let's talk about the percentage. If Onyx is 43.75% pit bull, so basically these pit bulls here is gonna be 71.5. We're gonna just round it up to 72% pit bull. We're gonna be 72% pit bull, and we seen how Nova work, Honey work, and all these different combinations working. Jump on this one if you want the high percentage pit bull, because everybody is different. And I'm guessing, if I had to guess, I don't know. If I had to guess, Lee, if you in the video, how big you think that'd be, Lee? If I had to guess, I mean, if Onyx herself is 100, you probably gonna get a male that's close to 100. You might get a couple. You might, but the average is probably gonna be 80 to 90 or something like that. I don't know. I'm just guessing on that one because it's sometimes hard to tell because if they might take after Frankie Bump. Frankie Bump is on the smaller side, or they might Boomer about 50 something. I think Boomer might be bigger than his daddy. He just seems thicker though. But Boomer is producing, so this is a nice combination for y'all that want the high pit bull percentage, but still want that influence of that protection work of Onyx. So shout out to that one. That's May 27th. You gonna have some Gemini babies out there. So that's part number 3 right there. You got Boomer and Onyx, and like I said, it's gonna be 72% pit bull, 72% pit bull, Ranger and Makita. See, I didn't do all the math beforehand at that one, so I already know Ranger's almost 70%. I gotta think about what the Makita is. But they're gonna still be pretty high too. And then Biscuit, and yeah, they still gonna be pretty high right there. So that's that right there. They all doing May 27th, Boomer Onyx. May 14th, Ranger and Makita. Cobalt Biscuit. May this second. Now we know Mother Nature, they might decide to come in a couple days before, a few days after. Mother Nature is on her own time. So that's 3 breedings so far. And for those who don't have a dog and that's going to look at this video, I highly recommend you guys to make it easier for Lee. Because the more you understand what's going on, the easier it is for Lee to help you out. So say, for instance, if you're unsure about something, it's no problem asking questions. You can ask me. I try to help you. I don't know everything. Or somebody else, ask somebody. But if you understand the type of dog that you want, write it on a piece of paper. Say, I want to, just use an example. I want a male. I want a brindle male that's around 90 pounds, that I live on a farm. I'm not really too close to people. I want them to be aloof to strangers. I don't want no friendly dogs. Yada yada yada. I got some coyotes coming. I want to make sure they can stop them. Yada yada yada. I want to make sure they got good nerves, good confidence. I also plan on maybe doing some agility. Write all these things down. It doesn't hurt you to overwrite than to underwrite. Now be realistic, because we had a gentleman on here last time. He basically needs dogs. I'm telling you, because it's a real thing. It's not a robot yet. I'm sure they coming. These are real dogs. So write on a piece of paper what you want. Okay? Write on a piece of paper what you want. Be sure of yourself. And Lee, with his experience, and tell you this one. You also might go to Lee and say, you know what? I want a female. I'm out in the public like that. I got a lot of people around the crib. So I don't mind if she a little bit more social into the public. I also want to do sport. You let Lee know that. Lee, with his experience, Lee gonna be like, boom, and get you with the right dog. Because I'm telling you, me personally, I don't really like the ones that social to the public like that. You get what I'm saying? So if you got one of my dogs, they might, if you wanted this more socially acceptable dogs, then my dogs, probably Jaguar for sure, wouldn't be, and my girl, they wouldn't be the type dogs that you would want. And then you would get frustrated, and then you say, oh, so that's why you want to be clear in your mind. And in order to be clear in your mind, you write it on a piece of paper. And that way, when you email Lee, you can say, this is what I want, boom, 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 boom. And that is just going to make your experience that much better, and then it make it easier for Lee to match you with the type of breeding. Because with all these breedings, I ain't going to lie, it'd be challenging for me. If it was my first time, I'd be like, bam. So a lot of it, of course, will be based on when I'm ready for the dog and what you want, a male or female, on different picks. So, yeah. So let's see. And then after that, we got coming up, we got Ranger and Trinity. Stop playing with me. Now off the bat, I know how much this percentage is going to be. So shout out to Trinity. For those who know, Trinity is Slam's litter mate and Maggie's litter mate. And I forget the other dog's litter mate. He's in New Mexico. So we gonna have some fun now, because now I've done this so many times. We gonna break down this one right here. This one, this pit bull percentage is gonna be almost 75%. It's gonna technically be 74.625% pit bull. Okay, it's gonna be 74.625% pit bull. We had a recent dog. He was with Scratch and Trinity. His name is Rusty. He's in the UK right now. He was a very serious dog. And I'm gonna bring up this point too. So a lot of times dogs can be misdiagnosed, right? He was a very serious dog. He wasn't really trying to play no games with chasing nothing. They took him out to evaluation. And then people, a lot of people, if you only know one thing, you gonna say, okay, well, they just gonna put a jacket on you. But I knew that he was a serious dog because I seen him, because the gentleman was in my group that I got, exclusive group. So if y'all want to be in an exclusive group for Sentinel owners, if you have a Sentinel or if you put a deposit on it, you can be on there. We're making it only for people that have a Sentinel, okay? So he was in a group, so I used to see certain videos. Now, I'm not no expert, but I can see certain things in a dog as a puppy when they start to show up. Make a long story short, he finally got sent back to Lee. Lee got him in the UK, so stop playing. Long story short, sometimes you need a second opinion, okay? Every dog is not sitting around here chasing stuff like that. That don't mean that they can't be protectors of your house, because remember, you got personal protection and you got straight guard dogs that's going to guard your property. You feel me? And a lot of the guard dogs that's guarding your properties, they're doing that straight off instincts. And that's what a lot of people need. So once again, if that's what you need, then let Lee know that. So back to this one. So this is going to be her first breeding since the end of 2024. My girl Trinity. You got Trinity and Ranger. This is a great, amazing combination right here, because you get the Lucky 7 blood from Trinity, and you get the Frankie Bump. So it's Frankie Bump, and Lucky 7, and like I said, it's gonna be almost 75% pit bull, and she I think she about 85 pounds. So these dogs right there, most of these breeders, their dogs is gonna be kind of the same size. So it looks like you got somebody already got the first pick male, so you got some space on Trinity. So make sure you stop playing. Once you make your mind up, send that deposit down to Lee, and like I said, Lee will work with you. So Ranger and Trinity, and let's get it. Bumper and Kimura. Check this one out, y'all. Bumper and Kimura. For those who don't know, Kimura, I remember she was born in like July 04, so she going on 2 years old. Kimura was like the biggest female. She was like the biggest one of that litter, because her mom is Banshee. Banshee is Frankie and Komodo, right? And we all know Bumper, which is Jaguar Daddy, is Justice and Halo. So this breeding right here is basically, because Kimura's, she almost 100% pit bull. She 90%. So this right here is gonna be another one of those breedings where it's gonna be over 70% pit bull. 70% pit bull. So for her to be, I'm guessing she around 50, 55 pounds. I don't know how big she is, but these might be a little smaller, because the mom, usually if the mom is smaller, of course the dogs will be there. So 60 to 75 pounds. And Kimura, I just like her style too. And then Bumper producing. You know what I mean? Bumper producing right there. And it looks like, let's see. It looks like people already paid for it. Like, yeah, see, people already want that bump. People be knowing what they want too. So Dwayne already got his down, and yeah, they already got theirs down. So you still got the second and pick male and female. You better jump on that one. You gonna have some brindles on that one, and you gonna have some fawns too. Yeah. Oh, she's 60 pounds? Yeah, okay. Okay, yeah. Male 75 to 90, yeah. Kimura is 60. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's funny how she bigger than everybody. All the females and males, yeah. 70% big bull. What's up, Adam? Yeah, so I'm looking forward to that one, man. Cause I'm curious to see how a Sentinel with 90% pit bull produces. That's gonna be amazing. Now we just had Fury and Grim. So Grim, I think Fury and Grim, that's her sister. But I think she bigger than her too. Bigger than her sister. So it's gonna be real interesting to see how this work. I think Lee got his combination going. Well, I was talking to Lee earlier. Lee was talking about being a breeder. It's an art and a science to it. And I agree with that. Just like training. It's an art and a science to it. And that's what makes it interesting. It would be kind of crazy if you knew exactly what you was going to get. That being that you was playing God, you can just, like I say, once you get to that level, it's like you're a robot now. You're too perfect. It would take all the mystery out of life if you could just get exactly what you want. You know what I'm saying? And anomalies do happen. She's 60 pounds, right? You never know. She might. Let me see. Her daddy is Slam, right? Slam is let me think. Slam is Lucky 7 and Patches and Banshee. Let me see. Just, you never know. All the puppies might take after Patches and Preacher Man. And all of them, and he might have a couple outliers that be like 110 pounds. You never know. Genetics is wild like that. I'm looking forward to that one, man. I'm definitely looking forward to that one, that bumper. And shout out to Dwayne and shout out to Matthew, whoever you are. And then here we go right here. Let's get right into it. Congo and Reaper. For those who don't know, this is Congo. Congo came out of the woodworks. Congo is almost 2 years old, y'all. Leaving keeping Congo in the shadows, but then Lee bust him out a couple weeks ago. I was like, whoa, Congo looking good. Now, for those who don't know, I feel kind of heartbroken because I was supposed to be down there, but my car was acting crazy. But next time, I'm going to be down there. Knock on wood. My car was acting crazy. My light came on. It's a long story. But this ain't about me. So you got Congo. Look, Lee brung Congo out the game. Like I told you, Congo is vicious in Halo. So vicious in Halo. Okay. Congo is vicious in Halo. Lee, how big is Congo, Lee? So we know vicious. I already talked about vicious. Vicious is Hair Trigger's litter mate. Rest in peace, Vicious. He died in a hog accident, okay? Vicious is, guess what? Lucky 7, like I was telling y'all. Remember I was talking about the Boomer and the Onyx? Lucky 7 and Onyx. I'm telling you. Onyx be producing. That's what I'm trying to explain to y'all. Lee got the art down and the science down. So you got Vicious taken back to Halo. Halo, everybody know one of my favorite pit bulls from Lee of all time is Little Rascal. I wish Little Rascal was bred more because Halo is one of Lee's biggest producers. But guess what? If it wasn't no Little Rascal, it wouldn't be no Halo. And Little Rascal, if you look on the videos on Lee, I made even remixed a couple of the videos of Little Rascal. Little Rascal hunting pigs. He doing protection work. 50 pounds, all black. So without him, it wouldn't be no Halo, which is Lee's one of the biggest producers, okay? So you got, this is where it gets amazing, right? So shout out to Reaper. Reaper, I'm going to just show y'all right now. Reaper, okay, let me see. Okay, there you go. Reaper, guess what? Reaper is Ranger's daughter from the Death Wish. Shout out to Reaper. And I seen the video of Reaper. She just as tall as her daddy. And this is one of Frankie Bump's biggest grandchildren that I seen that was a Sentinel. She in the 80 some pound range. And she tall. She like the same height as her dad. So that Ranger Elsa breeding is looking good. I remember them as puppies. That was the Death Wish. They was on some other stuff. And I know a couple other people that got the dogs. So Congo, check this out. Congo and Reaper, remember I told you, was Vicious. Vicious was Lucky 7 and Onyx, right? Lucky 7 and Onyx, and his mom was Congo. So basically, this is a half sibling breeding because both of their mothers. No. Let me get this wrong. Congo's mom is Elsa. Reaper's mom is Elsa. So this is more of a this is an uncle niece breeding, and but this is still double Halo because Elsa's mom is Halo. So you got the double Halo, you got the double Justice because Elsa's dad is Justice, and Congo's Onyx, Congo's grandfather is Justice. So you got the double Justice, you got the double Halo. You got the double Valkyrie. You got the double Little Rascal, and then you got the Ranger. You got the Frankie Bump. You got the Lucky 7. So this is gonna be a great another high-end pit bull breeding. High-end pit bull breeding. Y'all better jump on this right here, right? I'm telling y'all. Lee not playing with y'all, bro. Lee working in the background. Shout out to Lee. Lee about to have his training facility coming on. Listen, stop playing. Lee ain't playing with y'all. Lee almost at the 30-year mark. He not playing no games with y'all. Listen, you got Ranger. You got Reaper. I'm saying Ranger because it's right there, but it's really Congo, y'all. Don't get it wrong. It's Congo and Reaper, okay? like I said before, double Justice, double Halo, double Valkyrie. Both of them was working good. You know what I mean? And she about 80 some pounds. Like I say, if you have some outliers on there, if you're female around like 80 some pounds, then you probably gonna have the males. Even though Congo, I don't think Congo is that big, but them grandparents is big, so I won't be surprised. You might have some outliers. 100 gets female. If the female there, I mean, if she 80 something, then yeah, that's gonna be nice though. And she looking good. She coming out with muscles. So make sure you, like I said, make sure you talk to Lee. If that's what something that you want, hit Lee up. Cause like I said, she looking spectacular. She got that lean look. She look like she don't play no games. She look just like her daddy a little bit. She look like him a little bit, y'all. Reaper ain't playing no game. And look, oh man, stop playing. Look, y'all. Once again, Congo to Elsa. So Congo is going to Reaper, and he going to Reaper's mom. So this is similar breeding, except that you don't got no Ranger influence. You going straight to Elsa. You get one right to Elsa. So you getting faster to the Justice and the Halo. So this is still double Halo, double Lil Rascal, double Valkyrie, just without the Ranger influence. Because you got Elsa, which is Justice and Halo. And Elsa, if you look at the recent videos, Elsa is working as well. And Elsa, like I say, every breeding she get, the recent breeding of Slim and Elsa is looking great. I know several people with puppies off that litter. Now, I don't know all of them. I'm just going from what I see, what they tell me. Females, males is working. One dude got a male. He ain't playing no games like early. I'm talking about early, and they won't turn a year into June. So you listen, that Congo and the Elsa, that double joint right there. I'm telling y'all. Now, if I had to guess this based off, size, the Congo and Reaper puppies probably be a little bigger because Reaper is bigger than her mom. She bigger than her mom, so she probably produced dolls 10, 15 pounds bigger. Who knows, 5 pounds bigger. So that's the Congo. So Congo, new to the game, Congo, Vicious, Halo, Reaper, Congo. So this is all coming in 2026. We almost in April, y'all. Congo and Elsa. Okay, so we almost finished, y'all. Make sure y'all smash that thumbs up button. I'm getting excited. And shout out to Ranger. And listen. Shout out to my man Adam, because he got a deposit on here. Adam been just joined us. He got some great information in the group. Look, Adam is about to get a male. For those who don't know, once again, we're gonna break it down for y'all don't know. Ranger, Frankie Bump, and Valkyrie. Nova, Frankie Bump, and Onyx. I keep telling y'all, stop playing with Onyx. Frankie Bump and Onyx. Onyx is the niece of Valkyrie because Onyx's dad is Justice, and Valkyrie is full siblings. So in this breeding right here, this is going to be interesting because this is going to be double Frankie Bump. I'm not sure the size of these. He said between 60 and 90 pounds. The other double Frankie Bump breeding that I know of is the dog Rocco. Rocco was a male with Ryan. Rocco is a temple. It was with Rex and Nova. So Nova's son Rocco was taken to Rex, which was Frankie Bump and Frankie Bump and Rogue. I believe that's what it was. Don't get me wrong, but yeah. So this one's gonna be another double Frankie Bump production, and most of these is already done. So if they have a small litter on this one, you might only get one chance. Now, hopefully they have a big litter, you might get 9 or 10 if you trying to get your hands on this one right here. Double Frankie Bump. It's gonna be high pit bull blood, but still got those working abilities. Those man, you can hunt pigs with this one right there, man. So yeah, that Frank. I look forward to all these breedings because I always like to create like data so I can understand them more. Ho! Before we get out of here, before we get out of here, shout out to Chewy. Shout out to Chewy. This is Jaguar little sister. They got the same mom. Chewy is a bad girl. I like her, man. She's so intelligent and so like you can see that she used her brain, but then she just amazing, bro. I love Chewy. I'm gonna be honest with you, Lee. You made it hard. If I was getting a dog right now, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know which breeding to get. I ain't gonna lie. Lee, you made it hard. It's like going to a restaurant. You got all these options. Like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. So you got Ranger. So out of all of these 9 breedings, 4 of them is going to be with Ranger. So Ranger is going to Makita, Nova, Chewy, and Trinity. You know what I mean? Yeah, this one is probably. Oh, they got some. Oh, they got a space available. Well, they got some males available on Chewy. For those who don't know, we're gonna break down Chewy. Chewy is Vlad the Impaler back to Ladysmith. Hold on one second. Vlad the Ladysmith, okay? She's not a big girl. She's 70 pounds, but she very intense. Where she lack in size, she make up for intensity. She's a great protector. I mean, I already can see that she could do predator stuff, like, and she's so intelligent. You know what I mean? So this breeding right here with Chewy, boy, you gonna get your brindles. You gonna get your brindles because Chewy got that brindle in there. And size wise, Chewy is not that big. So, but you never know. Like I say, the puppies could end up taking after her mom, Ladysmith. So they might take after their grandmom, or they may take after both of their grandmoms. Both of their grandmoms was Ladysmith was like 90. She was big. Valkyrie was over 100 pounds. They may take over them. They may take over this one, but yeah, I look forward to these breedings right here. I'm excited, man. I'm excited. So once again, for those who are gonna look at this playback later, let me put this to the side so you won't see me too much. Let me see something. Yeah, so for those who gonna yeah, it's hey Lee, I was 3 times Valkyrie. Oh, you fixed it? Okay. 70. Okay. Bumper to Trinity. Okay, yeah. Shout out to everybody. I'm sorry. Yeah, I was trying to look at the thing. I wasn't reading the comments. Let me get back to the comments. Cause y'all was writing some comments. My fault, y'all. Bumper to Trinity, yeah. Oh, so you got it? Yeah. So you do know that? Okay, yeah. I got most of them, but not all of them. Yeah, he got the Congo and Reaper. Reaper look nice though. I ain't gonna lie though. Now I can do a process of elimination. Oh, okay. Kimura and Titus. Okay, let me see. Oh, Kimura is 60. You talking about? Oh, let me see. So you talking about this one? Kimura is 60 pounds. Yeah, that'd be something on there, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. If I go over it in my head, if I go over this in my head, oh, to preserve the breed. Okay, yeah. Okay, preserve the breed. Okay, yeah. Yeah. Titus. Yeah. I'm gonna keep it a bean with y'all, right? I'm gonna keep it 100 with y'all. We gonna have some fun, right? Knowing my personality and what type, you know what? I'm gonna base it on me having already 2 Sentinels. Cause me already having 2 Sentinels, I'm gonna keep it a bean with y'all, right? I don't got no truck. I'm carrying 200 plus pounds. Cause my girl almost 90 pounds and Jaguar like 115. So I'm already carrying 200 pounds. I don't need no dog that's big. You get what I'm saying? In fact, I don't want none. I want this third dog to be smaller than both of them. Just to have something smaller. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean they already big. Now I do like the size. So me, based on that, if I wanted the smallest Sentinel, let's do it like this. If I wanted the smallest Sentinel, let me look through these breedings and see who I think would be the smallest. This is all fun. I don't know. None of us know. Lee is the breeder, and he don't even know exactly what the size is gonna be. If I was thinking size and I wanted the smallest one, I'm thinking Nova and Ranger possibly could be the smallest. But when I say small, I'm talking about if I would have got a female. If I wanted like a 60-pounder. But that's kind of anomaly. Let me see. Anomaly could be the size for how small they are and also big. Because if the females is averaging like 70 to 80, if you get a dog that's 60 pounds, some of these breedings, I don't know. So I'm thinking that the smallest female would be Ranger and Nova. What you think, Lee? Ranger and Nova, or let me see, Congo. Oh man, Kimura. That possibly could be small because Kimura is only 60 pounds. So if you base it on the size of the female, the bumper and Kimura can be the smaller ones. You know what I mean? Then I'll be able to get a brindle. Yeah, the biggest ones. If I had to guess, just based on size, and you don't want the dog based on size. I'm just playing because, like I said, it's just so many choices. I wouldn't even know what to do. Makita don't. That possibly could be smaller too, but you're gonna have that one. I don't know. Right now, I don't know. You know what? Since it's going to the thing, I get the Boomer and the Onyx. Yeah, I get a female of Boomer and Onyx. Cause I don't think Nova that big. Nova like 70, right? But she's working though. I like her style. I think she got pigs. She can do it all though. I probably would go with Bumper and Onyx. Get me a little girl. Get me a little girl of Bumper and Onyx, cause you get a bull, he might be big. Not saying that I'm against the size. I'm just saying that I want mine having a 75 pound. But like I said, it's like going to your favorite restaurant, and But if the people that's serious about it, write it on a piece of paper. I'm telling you, it makes it so much easier because you'll start to have a clear vision. Because what happens is you can be so indecisive that you won't get nothing. So if you know, write it on a paper, pay the deposit if you serious. Because if you don't pay the deposit and you're not clear with your visions, you just gonna keep procrastinating and making up excuses. You don't really want a dog, and Lee don't got time to be just talking. I could talk to you about dogs. I ain't a breeder. You know what I'm saying? Lee don't really got time for that. You know what I mean? So, not saying that he don't want to talk to you, but he don't got time to just be like how I'm talking to you. Lee don't got So you gotta know what you want. You gotta know what you want on the right time. So, but yeah, these breedings is looking spectacular, y'all. You know what I mean? These breedings is looking real spectacular. And like I said, if any of y'all, you know what? I'm gonna put this in the thing. I'm gonna put the let me put the for those who got a Sentinel or a deposit on one, I'm gonna put the link to the exclusive WhatsApp chat in a second. That's a good question. Let me think about it. Reaper, you know what? Since Nova, I think Nova's like 70 pounds. Reaper is like 15 pounds, 10 pounds bigger. So based on the size of the dam, which has a lot to play on it, I would say the Congo and Reaper females would be bigger, larger females. I'm just guessing though. I don't know. Lee can tell you. What you think, Lee? Oh, the smallest? Yeah. That's what. Yeah, for the smallest. Yup. So I'm just guessing. based off of, I'm just guessing based on the dam. But like I say, you got outliers. You never know. You get what I'm saying? Cause I'm gonna keep it a bean with you. I didn't think my girl was gonna be. I kind of like say I wanted it, but she she like almost 90. So I'm like, whoa. She like bigger than boys. So I'm like, whoa. So I didn't really know that. Yeah. So that'll be there. Makita and Kimura weigh about the same, but Makita is taller. Oh, okay, okay. That's interesting. Oh no, you answered it already. Yeah, I think so. I can't remember exactly what I was said. Makita, Kimura. Yeah, they weigh about the same. But that's interesting. See, look, Kimura. So Kimura is 90% pit bull and weigh the same as Makita, who's she definitely not 90%. Her daddy is Danger. He's 75, so that cut it down to 37, and then Hops. Let me see. Yeah, Hops. I'm not sure what Hops was, but if y'all want to come, if y'all want to join and talk some stuff, I'll put the link in there if y'all want to join and ask me some questions too. But yeah, I'm excited, y'all. Me personally, if I had a dog out of all these breedings, I like all of the breedings, but we have our thing. I gotta make sure that they match, and I'm due a brindle, y'all. I deserve a brindle. My favorite color is black and brindle, and I got 2 fawns. I deserve a brindle. So that, for me, right along, I'm only I can get Ranger and Makita. I'm gonna see Ranger and Makita, Boomer and Onyx, Ranger and Makita, Boomer and Onyx, Cobalt and Biscuit, Cobalt and Bumper and Kimura, Congo and Reaper. Actually, Congo and Elsa. So actually, to be really honest, you know what? Just to come think about it, almost that's one thing I didn't even notice too. Lee got it to where most of these breedings is gonna have Brindle in that. The only one that's gonna have all phones is Ray and Ray. That's it. So 2 out of the 9 breedings is gonna have just fawns, but the other 7 is gonna have Brindles. Whoa, listen, bro, stop playing with Lee. Lee is formulating the future. I look forward to the progress of the American Sentinel, the training facility coming on. Like I say, when Adam come back, I'm coming down there. Like I say, so technically, if I was gonna get a dog, I got a choice between 7. So, okay, so now out of the 7, okay, I can say, okay, I already got a dog from Bumper. Let me not get that one. But I do like the Kimura. I do like that. You know what I'm saying? So I'll probably just go with Bumper and Onyx just to get us. Because just think, now also, too, I'm not a breeder, right? But say if I was going to breed, right? And I got a female, right? Jaguar is so big, and I don't want my dog to really be 115 no more, which I like is cool. But if I still got Jaguar, say if I was gonna keep his son, and say if I got a Boomer to Onyx, say if a female, I get a black brindle female that's 70 pounds, take her back to Jaguar, you know what I'm saying? That'd be a double Onyx breeding. You got the pit bull in there, so that'd be 70, 50. The puppies is be 60-some%, and his puppies is still have good size. The puppies is still gonna have good size because Onyx is big. You double up on Onyx, so the way Lee is formulating it, even with the higher pit bull, you still gonna have the averages there. You know what I'm saying? And in fact, if I took Boomer and Onyx female to Jaguar, the male's gonna be over 100. I can bet on that. They're gonna be, you're gonna get some over 100 pounds. You know, a couple of them. You know, so yeah. I just look forward to this one, man. I look forward to this one right there. Like I said, it's so many I don't know. Ranger and Chewy is looking good. Ranger and Chewy is looking good too, man. Ranger and Chewy is looking real good, man. Ranger and Chewy, Ranger and Nova. I'm gonna bring the screen up again so y'all can see it. For those who kept it in there, male or female? Yeah, that's true. Yup. Cause I already got two. Yeah. Ranger Nova, no Brindle. Yeah, no Brindle. Ranger. Yeah, male or female. So when you got two dogs and they all live in the same house, you like, do I want a male? Jaguar is more tolerant. I mean, I wouldn't mind another male though. You know, I just don't want them to. Now for sure, I don't want no male over 100. Not with two males. You know. Shout out to Sean. Shout out to you. Make sure y'all smash that thumbs up. Help the algorithm out, y'all. Smash that thumbs up. But yeah, let's see what else. Let's see what else we want to talk about. Yeah, I'm just trying to make the transition easier for, because buying a dog is not. It's kind of like buying. It ain't on the level of a house, but it's like kind of buying a car. It might be on the same. It might be even on a higher level than buying a car, because I'm sure if you're really serious about a working dog and you don't want to rescue dog from the shelter, it's gonna take some thought process, right? So I'm trying to make it easier. Okay, let me put the thing in there for people that got a deposit. Let me put the thing in there so y'all guys can join the exclusive WhatsApp thing. Let me just bring up my WhatsApp real quick and put the code up in there. Let me see. Let's see. Let me see there. Oh man, I don't know how to. I'll bring it up before I leave. I'm trying to do it on my WhatsApp. But yeah, I'm just trying to make it easier. So write it on a piece of paper. You know what I'm saying? Like be concise of what you mean. Lee gonna try to help you as best as you can, but he's not. He's a breeder with people from all over the world trying to contact him. Me, I'm just a regular guy that love dogs, so I can talk to you more, but I don't got the information Lee got. You know, so I can give you general stuff as a client, and some stuff like percentages, but for the deeper stuff, you're gonna have to ask Lee that. You know what? Let me find out where this chat is at. Okay. Link. Okay. Here we go. Right here we go. I got the comment right here. You want a big male 100 plus fawn? What you think, Lee? 100 plus fawn? Make sure y'all join that right there. See that right there? I just put it in the chat. It should come up. That's it right there. Make sure y'all click on that one right there. That's the exclusive American Sentinel chat where we be kicking it. And all we basically do, we just talk dogs and we share best practices for us to be better handlers, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? There's no beefing or none of that. There's none of that. It's real. We all get along. You know, there's no drama or nothing. You know what I mean? We don't agree on everything because, you know, that disagreeing with things doesn't equate to drama. I'm telling you, because I can accept people that have different opinions, you know? But we there to really help each other at the end of the day. So make sure y'all join that right there. Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, get it though. Yeah. I know he might though. He might though. Yeah, so Sean. So yeah, okay, I'm glad you asked that. So let's go through the breedings. And you want a big male 100 plus, right? Fawn. Okay, so if you now we know every breeding, all 9 breedings is gonna have fawns, because 2 brindles can make fawns, but 2 fawns can't make brindles. So every breeding is gonna have fawns. Now, will a fawn male come out? They might be all females. We don't know that part, but we know it's gonna be some fawns, right? Okay, so now if you wanted to just say, you know what, I don't want no breedings at all. The only two breedings you're gonna have to get Ranger and Nova, and Ranger and Trinity. From a size factor, the Ranger and Trinity females or males would be bigger. So your chances of getting a male from just that breeding would be Ranger and Trinity. But now if you go back, if you go to some other breedings, you got Congo and Reaper. You might get 100 pounds over that one. You might get 100 pounds on that one. It's a possibility. I'm trying to think what else 100 pounds. Congo and Elsa, because I'm Slam and Elsa. Congo a little smaller than Slam, so Congo and Reaper males. Let me see. The Cobalt and Biscuit. That's a possibility too. You want 100 pounds. The Cobalt and Biscuit, yeah. Yeah, they would be too. Yeah. She listen, cause I don't like. All she do was my girl. She just play with him all like she just like I don't know what it is. They like love her. She don't stop playing with him all day, all day, all day. It's like crazy. I'll be like, bro, you gotta stop. Yeah, talk to Lee. Lee in the chat right there. Y'all see Lee in the chat right there. So yeah, that's for people on Facebook, and that's for their Bumper and Biscuit. Bumper and Biscuit for sure. Oh yeah, that's definitely gonna do it. But Cobalt, since he got the Frankie Bump blood, and Cobalt and Bumper is around the same time. You right though. But we talking about all the breedings add-on. We talking about all the breedings that's listed to come out, which one to be 100 pounds. But if you talking about Bumper and Biscuit, oh yeah, I'll definitely for sure. Cause Biscuit like 85 and then there, that's the double Justice blood. Cause Scratch back, yeah. That's like a uncle niece breeding. And I already told you Slam and Biscuit had a runt that was 90 pounds too. So if the runt getting 90 pounds for that one, and yeah, I feel you. Yeah, when it's time, you know what it is. I appreciate you supporting it, Sabaris Project. You know what I'm saying? You know what it is. Lee's email. Let me put it on there for you for Lee, cause I'm just a connect. You know what I'm saying? I'm just connect. I just like to breed. I'm like an ambassador. If you ever wonder what my job is, I'm like an ambassador. I don't get paid for this or nothing. Just so y'all know, if y'all thinking like I get paid cause I sound like sales, no. I just get excited. I used to be in sales before I started my business, but I don't. I'm just doing it for the love of the breed. So Lee, put your email address in there, Lee. Put your email address in there. For yeah, if you wanted, based on what I think now, I think the Cobalt and Biscuit, since she 85, I say Cobalt and Biscuit and Congo and Reaper might have the biggest size. I'm just guessing. Like I say, I'm like I said, I don't know. I'm just guessing based on the mom, and she I think she the biggest one, and Onyx, but. Now, if Onyx is going to anything except a straight pit bull, that you're going to have big boys. Like, you're going to have boys over 100. Now, it's possible that you can still get it with Boomer, because Boomer's smaller than Lucky 7, though. Vicious, Congo's daddy was like around 100. He was nice. You know what I mean? But Lucky 7 is bigger than Frankie. So, for those who wondering, we talk about Frankie Bump, we talking about a pit bull, and we talking about Lucky 7, we talking about pit bulls. That was part of Lee's breedings. So if you're new to the channel, so yeah, that's Lee information right there. Actually, I got it right here. I'm gonna put Lee's information. This is this is information. Don't be calling Lee at 1 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, Trinity throws big all string. Okay, so Ranger and Trinity. That's a good question. That's for Lee. Make sure you Let me put that on there for y'all. So make sure that's how you release Lee. AmericasCentralK9 at Gmail. That's the time frame. Lee is a family man. Do not be texting. Don't be texting him at 1 o'clock in the morning. How civil is Ranger and Trinity going to be? That's a great question. Because I know Scratch is different personality than Ranger. That's a good question. I'm not sure. That's a great one right there. I would like to know that one. Because, I mean, that Ranger and Elsa looking good. Oh, okay. They should be fine if imprinted between 6 and 16 weeks with some suspicion. So what Lee is talking about is if you don't want to put no super pressure on them. They too young for that. Remember I talk about how to destroy your dog? Putting too much pressure is going to destroy your dog. You just do basic suspicious stuff like where you just like go out somewhere and let them hear something, and then you have like it don't even gotta be a professional deco, just somebody that you know, and just do some little small stuff where they can see them and they start being suspicious of them. And you praise them, and that will like and trigger it. But you don't go too far. You don't be doing like full X. First of all, they only 6 weeks, so do small stuff like that. And yeah, because that's what I do. When my dog's like when Chakra was little, and she seen something, and she's seen something, and she's like, I tell her, good girl, good girl, good girl. And I'm gonna be honest with you now. Yeah, she not friendly to the public. In a way, I'm gonna keep it a being with mine. Like when I get my, I don't let nobody touch my dog. Now you don't gotta be that extreme. You don't gotta be that extreme like how I do. I don't let nobody touch my dog. I don't let no other dogs play with them. But that might be considered extreme for you. You might want yours to be a little bit more social, because once again, being social don't mean that you gotta be friendly. Being social mean that you can just go up to somebody and not say nothing. Because in real life, everybody that you talk to is not as social. That don't mean that they mean. Some people are just more introspective, so they don't talk as much. Okay, but that don't mean that they not social. They say they you ever hear a person say he or she is a man of few words. Okay, that's how some of these dogs are. They are a man of no words. Some is a man of there, so you can kind of like adjust that a little bit. But some dogs it's not gonna be. Some dogs it just don't mess with people, so you can get them to the level of being neutral. Some you can get them to the level where they might can have outside strangers petting them and this, and this. So you're gonna have to work with somebody. If you don't know how to do that, you're gonna have to get advice and do it. You know what I'm saying? But your dog, they don't have to be friendly to everybody. That's a good question. Congo Reaper breeding, yeah. That's for Lee right there. Hey Lee, did you want to come on and answer some questions if you had time? Because they got questions. So, Ranger and Scratch. Yeah, Ranger. I think Scratch is kind of dog. Well, Scratch is dog aggressive too. What's the difference in personality? Yeah, I like the Congo Reaper too. That's why I say Lee came out of the Woolworks. Lee came out of the Woolworks and was playing. Did y'all smash the thumbs up, y'all? Smash that like button, y'all. Okay, yeah, let me let Lee come on here. See, we got a special guest, y'all. We got Lee. Let me get my man Lee on here so he can answer y'all questions. Cause I can't I don't know exactly. I can only tell you how my girl is. Both of my dogs got scratch blood in them, and I just know that they ain't friendly to the public, but they real cool and real loyal and love to work. Love to work. I mean, love to work. Where I gotta stop them, so they ain't lazy at all. That's one thing I can tell you on that. And I can tell you, let me see. And I know, shout out to my man Ralphie. Ralphie is Lee about to join us, y'all. Smash the thumbs up. You getting another exclusive Lee Robinson 2026 breeding. Let's go. And hopefully y'all subscribe too. Hopefully y'all subscribe. I'm trying to get to 1,600 subscribers. Um, Lee about to join us in a second. My girl, let me see if she let me let her out in a sec. 1 sec, y'all. We back. We back. Rap Reaper, Congo, and there was another up and comer. I was a fan of them all. Which another up and comer? Reaper and Congo. Makita. Maybe it's Makita. I think you talking about Makita. Ripped up. Shout out to Ripped Up. I'll be seeing you a lot too. I'll be seeing you a lot. We're waiting for Lee to join us in a second. In the meantime, let's see. Hopefully y'all, if y'all get a chance, last night I done a thing on pet peeves. I got some pet peeves, boy. Cobalt, Congo, Ranger. Oh yeah, Lee got some stuff in the works that he ain't really bringing out yet. Lee, I forgot he told me about them. I can't. You talking about the ones they like more of adults. Lee got some puppies that he people don't even know about. I let you talking about like he got some stuff that he about to bust out on you. I'm gonna let him do it. Like, cause I haven't even seen them. I just kind of know about them. I haven't even seen them yet. I'm like I'm excited, bro. I'm excited. Like they do. I love to see puppies like develop. You know, what I mean, they grow so fast too. You know, they build up so fast before you know it. They grown. They grown. Oh yeah, he had a dog named Bullet. Yeah, Lee. Yeah, he had that dog Bullet. Yeah, you might be talking. You might be talking about Bullet too. Yeah, yeah, Makita. No, you. I think you talking about Slam and Nova girl Bullet too. Yeah, I'm gonna show you her. I'm gonna show you her. I'm gonna bring her up on the screen for y'all. I sent the link out, Lee, when you get a chance. Let me show the screen up. Okay. Lee Robinson, what's happening, man?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, I wasn't sure if it was working because I was having problems with my mic.
Yeah, before you say something, I wanted to show him Bullet 2 because I think you might be talking about Bullet 2. This is the up and coming female. Let me see. You might be talking about her. She up and coming too. Lee got something. Lee got something in the works though. Bullet 2, yeah. You already see Chewy, but all of like yeah. So yeah, you been watching Congo since the pup. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, um, that was I think that was Halo's Let's Breed. Yeah. So you see what that question was, Lee? They said, "What's the?" Let me see if I can remember what the question was. Let me see.
Uh,
Oh yeah,
I don't
what's the
see the
difference?
question.
What's the difference in personality between Ranger and Scratch?
Oh, well, Ranger was a sole survivor, so he wasn't socialized. So he has extreme animal aggression, and Scratch was kind of born that way. He had a lot of animal aggression too, so they're similar in that regard. The difference is, I think Rangers is coming from a lack of socialization, but that's hard to say for sure because Frankie Pomp does grow a lot of animal aggression. In fact, the breeding with Makita and Ranger expect a lot of animal aggression. That's not going to be your dog for a person that has multiple animals in their household.
Oh, okay. So you saying that? Okay. So you saying for people that's gonna I got you. Okay.
But Scratch was probably my favorite, one of my favorite dogs of all time. You know, he just did everything. He worked anything and everything. He worked people. He worked hog. You know, he would work a hog. He'd work anything. You could get a toy and he would work it. He was also super bonded with us. He was a house dog from time to time. Ranger's never really been a house dog. I had a lot tighter relationship with Scratch, but I can't discredit Ranger except for the fact that he was a late bloomer, you know, because we didn't really do much with him when he was young. When you have 30 dogs, that's an unfortunate
He turned
cost
the
on
leaf
a
though. It was
family.
nice to see him. Like he just turned the leaf one day. You know what I'm
Yeah, I
saying?
mean, when you got a decoy that knows what they're doing, you know, Keaton Temple is a good friend of mine. He's as loyal as anybody could come, but he's a hog hunter, you know, and he's tried to help me with some protection work and decoy work, and he's he's gold in terms of loyalty and willing to do anything. But he's not a professional decoy. You know, it's something that we do. He does as a hobby. So getting a professional decoy out there to work ranger was uh, really good for ranger development.
You're right, and his kids is developing too. They said, Lee, would you take Bumper to 100% bit bull like Mrs. Parker? That's a good question.
Let me see if I can get this to get connected. It's working through my computer, and I'm not hearing you real well.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why it's not connecting to my earbuds. Let me get this other headset.
Got my new
What
microphone.
was your question?
Please stop. Said, would you take Bumper to a straight APBT like Miss Parker or whoever? Banshee. Would you do that?
Um, I'm afraid that'd be too small.
That'd be too small.
I think they'd be too small. You know, the only dog that I've got that I would really take to a straight pit bull would be either Onyx or Reptar at this point.
And you doing Onyx with Boomer,
Yeah.
but is it? I always wonder. I'm not sure. Like if you take a 50 pound male pit bull to a 100 pound female, and you take um 100 pound male a sentinel to a 50 pound female, which one isn't the one that's where the female is bigger? Is they gonna have bigger puppies?
You're saying if the total weight of the two dogs is the same?
Yeah, but if the female is the
I
sentinel
don't think so. I
instead of
think it's
the
gonna. I think it's gonna be tit for tat. To be honest with you, I
oh
know a
for
lot of
real?
people say a lot of people say the bigger female is gonna have bigger pups, and maybe that's true when they're born. But once they get weaned and off the mother, and you start feeding them kibble, then or raw, then the genetics are gonna take priority because the only real chromosomal difference is going to be the X chromosome or Y chromosome, and that's going to influence your male or female ratio more so than the size. The growth hormone and the insulin growth factor is not going to really be dependent upon which one is the male or the female. The mitochondrial DNA will be impacted by it, but I don't know how much that plays a role in size.
That's interesting. I always thought that since the female was bigger, because like I said, like Vicious was like almost 100.
Yeah,
Um,
I think that's true when they're pups because the bigger mom has more nutrients going to the pups. But once they're weaned, that maternal nutritional factor is going to be depleted or it's going to go away. Now the genetics are going to dominate. So just feed them well, make sure they're free of parasites, and feed them well. Don't let them get fat, but don't let them get lean. You know, you want to keep a puppy to should have a little fat on it at all times, but not obese.
So with that being said, the bumper and Kimura could have some big pups like 90, 100 pounds.
No, 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 they won't be that big because Bumper himself is only 90 pounds. So you take the weight of the two dogs and average it. So take 60 pounds for the bitch and 90 pounds for the male. You got 150. Split 150. This is not really how it works, but this is a good
Yeah.
ballpark. And then you take 150 divided by two because you got two dogs making that 150, and then you get 75 average. So the males will probably be a little above 75, and the females will probably be a little below 75. But then, Bumper may not even be 90. He may be 85 pounds. I don't
Nah, he
weigh my
can't. There's no
I don't
way.
weigh
He
my
gotta be. Hey,
I don't weigh my dogs as much as
he
some
gotta
people
be
do.
Lee. He gotta be close to 100 pounds. He gotta be.
No, he's not 100 pounds. Reptar is bigger than Bumper, and Reptar is about 100 pounds. Reptar in his prime was probably 105, but now that he's old, he's
Yeah.
actually only about 98 pounds now at 11 years of age.
Oh wow! I thought bumper look. I don't see. But okay, now since you on that, who is more responsible for the size, the sire or the dam? Then, or it depends who got the stronger genes, or because
You got to look at the pedigree and the dogs, not just the. All right, so if you have a big bitch, then she's going to be more apt to throw big dogs. If you have a big male, he's going to be apt to throw big dogs. Let's go back to my dog Wrecker. All right, so that was the biggest Sentinel that I had that had a high percentage of pit bulls. He was 62.5% game bred American Pit Bull Terrier. He was out of. So if we look at him, we take Captain Skip, who's only about a 50-pound dog. We bred him to Snaps, who was about a 70-pound dog. That produced a dog named Chief. Chief was a giant. He was 78 pounds. He was about 85 pounds on, mature when he was full mature on the chain. Lean, he was 78 pounds. Well, we bred Chief to Bandit, and that's what made none of it. And then we bred, or excuse me, I misspoke. I misspoke. So let's see. Let me think now. So Wrecker
boss and
was
none
out
of
of
it, boss and none of it,
Boston, none of it. Yeah.
yeah, boss and
Um,
none of it made
yeah. So
record.
so we bred Chief to Bandit to make Boss, and then
Preacher man back
we
to his
bred
sister.
Preacher Man to Gator to make
Yeah,
none of it, and then we bred Boss to none of it to make Wrecker.
right. And
So
record was the teenager.
why did that size come in? Well, I think it came in based off of Chief, and the reason why I say that was because Chief's mom was an anomaly named Snaps, which was really big, and she threw that giant blood
Yeah.
to Chief. Chief was 20 pounds bigger than his biggest brothers and sister. He was more than that. He was about 23 pounds bigger than his biggest brother. So he was an anomaly. Well, that anomaly was successive in the next generation. When we had Boss, and then Boss threw that with Wrecker. But because the bitch was bigger, the anomalies got bigger because we weren't just breeding to a pit bull anymore. We were breeding to a sentinel.
Oh, okay.
And then also we had Wrecker's sister was a dog named Yellow.
I
If
like
you,
yellow too. I like her.
yeah, Yellow is the mother of Rogue. Rogue was a giant dog.
Yeah. And that's
I
yeah.
mean, Rogue was probably 110 pounds, and that was a female.
Yeah. So ripped up. Yeah. Chief was a big. He was bad. He was bad too. He was doing work. He looked like a sentinel. He act like a sentinel too. So they saying Lee, say, hey Lee, do you have any upcoming breedings that will have a high chance of producing neutral dogs or less dog aggressive dogs? That's a great question, my friend.
I think it's wise to consider the American Sentinel as a fighting type dog. Even though we don't match dogs, there's so much dog aggression coming into these dogs because of the American Pit Bull Terrier. So, you can have anomalies that don't have dog aggression, but that's an anomaly. Their instinct instinctive nature is let's go catch a hog, let's go catch a man. They're going to want to have, or they're wired to have a lot of aggression. Now, you can have a male and a female, that'll be fine. It's just when you have two males or two females. I've never liked it when people brag about these breeds that work as packs to protect against lions, like they say with Borbals. Well, that means you have non-alpha dogs. Non-alpha dogs are not true gladiators. They're not going to engage a threat when they're one-on-one. If a lion comes in and there's a Borbal versus a lion comes in and a pit bull, the pit bull is going to get killed by the lion. The Borbal is going to get killed by the lion if it's one on one. But the difference is the pit bull is going to engage because it doesn't work off of buddy courage. It works off of I have courage myself. And so you put two alpha mentalities together, it's not going to work. Not if they're the same gender.
Yeah, cause that'd be yeah. So you saying they gonna have they either gonna be you either gonna have a dog that's like high dog aggression, maybe more neutral. Now I'm gonna be honest with you. To add on to that, I'm not an expert, but you gonna have to train your dog to be neutral. And what I mean by that, you can have a dog that's super friendly and like an attention whore. Chopper, let me put her back. Let me put her up. Come on.
Sure. Now, on the aspect of dog aggression, there are individuals that don't display that behavior, high degree of dog aggression, but it's not norm. Oh, we got cut off. I think everything's muted, y'all.
I just muted my mic, Lee.
Yeah, no, you muted me too.
Oh, I mean,
It's okay.
Okay. Oh,
It's
so I
okay.
didn't know because I got a new microphone. and I just pressed the mute button, and I didn't know I muted you.
It's okay. What I was going to say was there are dogs, American Sentinels even, that don't display a lot of dog aggression, but it's just not the norm. It happens, but it's not norm.
And yeah, to speak on neutral, you're gonna have to train your dog to be neutral. And what I mean by that is, if you got a dog that's super friendly and to the public and they love attention, you're gonna teach them to be neutral, because you don't want your dog just trying to get like treats from everybody. That's kind of like, in a way, to me, that's kind of tacky. Also, on the other end, if your dog is like real civil to the public, you teach them to be neutral. So that's something that you're gonna have to train your dog to be. And fortunately, if you know what you're doing, you can train a dog that's civil and super social to be neutral. So that's more of a training thing on a neutral aspect. Now, and if you saying you want something that's not civil, you think you can get breedings like that, Lee? That that won't be too civil.
Sorry, I was reading the question here. I wasn't listening to you. My apology. I thought you were talking to the audience. Real quick, let me answer this question. This guy asked, why do I think the Congo Reaper pups will be bigger than the Ranger Nova pups? Um, if I said that, it's I was looking probably because Reaper's bigger than Nova. Reaper has Ranger influence, and Congo has some big dogs in his pedigree, like Onyx, and let's see, Congo's bottom side is Halo, which is going to go back to Valkyrie. Valkyrie was a real big bitch. But, you know, anything that I put on that is just an estimate. You got to look at the individual dogs. And the same is true for the dog aggression. Size and dog aggression and civil behavior. I see Aaron's asking about civil behavior. You got to look at the dog more so than the breeding, because our program has now gotten to a point where it's very, very consistent. It's pretty much a pure breed now. A lot of line breeding has been taking place for 26 years. So it's more important now to select the puppy than it is the breeding, to be honest with you, if there's something that individual that you're looking for.
Okay, so you answered both of those, yeah.
So what was your question, Jalik? My apology. I got distracted.
We was talking about the new. Oh yeah, is there any breedings where I think you kind of answered it. Yeah, I think I asked you where you was. Is there any breedings where it might not be where they may be more as social, may be more
Yeah, let
social
me
to
think. Stay away from Makita, and because Makita is very animal aggressive, and Ranger is who I bred her to, and he's animal aggressive. So I would stay away from Ranger Makita.
if you didn't want
The
no, yeah, if you
Onyx,
want some, yeah.
Onyx, stay away from that one also. She's animal aggressive, and taking her to Boomer, you're pretty much guaranteed animal aggression there as well. So let's see. If you want a more social dog, let me pull up my website and look at what I've got lined up to throw it in my face.
For those who just coming in, I got Lee Robinson. He almost 30 years in the game. We talked about the 9 upcoming breedings. If y'all missed what we said, y'all can always go play back later. Smash the
Congo
thumbs up.
biscuit, maybe a
Yeah,
good one.
Cobalt Bisco.
Not Congo, Cobalt biscuit.
Cobalt
Cobalt
Bisco.
biscuit, maybe a good one. Um, that's really
It
it.
is kind of a guess though, because I know dogs from certain breedings where you would think that they shit, you even got pit bulls that don't play with, that's not friendly to the public. So if you got pit bulls that's not friendly to the public, then it's like a thing. It's kind of like the weight. You don't know. These are just like estimates. So if Lee say this and then it come out, you can't say Lee told me my dog was.
Yeah, these are just averages.
Yeah,
You
this is
know,
average. Twan, what's
sometimes
up,
you have a
Twan?
dog. One thing I'll say is, let's say, for example, you have oh, let's just say, for example, if you breed two 100-pound dogs together, you would expect the offspring to be about 100 pounds.
Yeah.
But let's say you get one that's 80. Well, there's two ways of thought here. One could say, well, since the ancestors are about 100 pounds, they're probably going to produce about about 100 pounds, which is what they come from. Another train of thought is, well, that dog's only 80 pounds, so it's an anomaly. It's going to be more likely to produce smaller dogs that are anomalies in that line. And both of those ways of thinking are valid ways of thinking. What you have to look at is, was that breeding done before? And if that breeding was done before, how big were the pups in the previous litters? That's going to be the best way of predicting what's actually in the genetics.
Yeah. So when that's why on the Facebook page I always ask people, because I just like to know, just to know, like just to keep the data in my mind so I can say, okay, that dog was this one, this dog was this one. Um, so you think Ranger and Trinity would throw some large dogs then?
I do. Trinity has thrown some really big dogs in the past, and you got to think about her pedigree also. So let's look at Lucky Seven. He was about 70 pounds. He was big pit bull. His condition weight may have been about in the low to mid 60s, but that's a big pit bull. And also, Trinity's mother was Patches, which was a very, very big American Sentinel. So I'll tell you this: on average, a 70-pound pit bull will produce bigger offspring than an 80-pound mastiff.
Wow. Okay.
Because there's something that's going on in that pit bull's that made it so much bigger than its ancestors. It could be a growth hormone thing, could be an insulin growth factor thing. Um, it's hard to say for sure. So you have to look at the pedigree and see what it is. I'll tell you this for sure: 70-pound pit bulls, generally speaking, throws bigger offspring than a 70-pound mastiff, and probably even bigger than an 80-pound mastiff. Someone might say, but the mastiff has big ancestors. That's true, but I'm going to tell you, whenever we've had the giants, it's because both sides of the pedigree were big for their breed.
Hmm. Okay.
So Trinity had a big pit bull for a father and a big sentinel bitch for a mother, and then Ranger has a big mother. And the pit bull was not small, but he was not big. Ranger's sire, I'm talking about. He
Yeah.
was kind of big, but not giant. Frankie Bonk was his conditioned weight was 49, 50 pounds. His chain weight was about 56, 58 pounds.
Mm. Okay, that's a good one right there. So shout out to Antoine. I be seeing Antoine. I be seeing you on the in the Facebook group. He had a question, so I think he said, let me find this. He said, what should I expect from Bumper and Dolly Pop?
I like that. Who is this that we're talking to?
That's Antoine. He be in
Um,
the Facebook group.
did, did
I
he
think
get
he
one of
might
those?
got
Yeah, he got one of those.
yeah, and I think he
Uh,
got another one. He might got Slamming Nova too.
yeah. Did
Yeah,
he?
is
Is
that you?
your?
Don't you
Is
got a
your?
Slamming Nova Pop too? That
I'm
female,
curious
is
if his
that you?
bumper dolly pup is it a male or a female?
Timothy? I be seeing somebody on there that got a Slamming Nova Pup too. I thought that was you. But I'll be definitely seeing you on the Facebook group, yeah.
Yeah, I almost kept the last female out of that. That was a really nice female.
Yeah, that was. I was looking at those puppies. I was like, bruh.
She started growing real nice there at the end. You know, the females got a little under the weather there early in their development, but they did catch up.
Yeah, I was
The,
looking at that later too. That was recent. And they had some nice. I was like, man, they was a nice size too. Even though Dolly wasn't, man, I was like, wow, Bumper be
yeah,
doing
Dolly's
things.
a nice
Oh yeah,
dog.
that's you. Yeah, that's you. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So you got the Slamming Nova. So you got yeah. So you got Slamming Nova. And you're Slamming Nova, girl. Yeah. If you don't mind telling us, Twan, how big is your how much does your Slamming Nova girl weigh? Because that's a good. Since we talking about weights and different things, because Nova is about to produce with Ranger, and Slam and Ranger was about the same size, right? It's just that Lucky Seven was bigger than Frankie, and Patches was bigger than. I mean, Patches was bigger than Valkyrie. No, Patches was bigger than Valkyrie. I think, right?
Um, I'm sorry, I'm looking at two screens. I'm looking at the StreamYard and I'm also looking at the YouTube, and they show two different things.
Yeah,
It's like
I
there's a
just look at I
delay.
just look at the stream. Yeah, it's a delay. I just look at the stream yard. I don't look at the YouTube.
All right, let me just go to the StreamYard. Now
Yeah, I
I
just look
can't
at the
see the.
stream.
Oh, there's the comments. Okay, my
Yeah,
bad.
you can
Now,
click on the comments right there. Yeah, you can always do that. Yeah,
okay.
from stream
So,
yard.
what
Yeah.
was your question?
Um, he was question was about Bumper and Dolly female. What do you expect from the Bumper and Dolly?
Okay, so he's got a female. Okay. Um, there was three females in that litter. The last one, the older she got, the better she got. So I'm hoping that's the case with his as well. I would expect them females to get around. Let's see, Dolly's about. She's probably close to 70 pounds. She's short, but she's thick. She's at least 65, and so Bumper's going to be about 85, 90. So let's just be conservative here and say 65 and 85. That's going to be 100 and what, 50?
Yeah.
So I would expect the females to probably be under that. And so 150 divided by 2 is going to be 75. I'd expect the females to be under that and the males to be bigger than that. So I'm going to say the females probably about 65.
Give or take.
My Slam Nova, I have a
Oh, you got a slam. That's bullet. Oh yeah, you got one too. I think I know it's somebody in the Facebook. I gotta look at it. Oh,
She's
so
nice.
that is
She's a tank.
He has a Slam Nova, but she look kind of big though. I was like, his Slam Nova girl look kind of big. He got a phone one. Oh, you haven't put her on the scale yet? Yeah.
My Slam Nova girl is a brick house. She's not real big, but she is solid. She's probably going to be 70 pounds full grown.
So the size of her mom, maybe a little bigger.
Yeah, maybe a little bigger. She might be 75. She's stocky. And she's a committed little girl, too. I mean, she's all about it.
Yeah, so Slam put out something. That's what we talking.
Yeah, and my Slam Elsa male, he's growing real nice right now too. He might end up getting to be about 85 pounds.
Oh, for real? Oh,
Yeah,
I didn't. Oh, so you got it? Yeah, I haven't seen the. Do you already?
Yeah,
So Lee, let me ask you this. I never asked you this. What's your process of picking out names? I'll be curious. How y'all pick?
I don't have a. I
You don't?
don't have a process. Like I named my female Mercy, but I really need to rename it to No Mercy. I just don't like feminine names, unless it's going to be my daughter's dog or something like that. So we named our Scratch Elsa, excuse me, we named our Scratch Onyx female Leela Jean because my daughter Caroline really liked her, and her middle name is Leela Jean. So I said, "Well, you want to name the dog?" And she named the dog because she liked her a lot. So, but most of the time, I try to not use feminine names. I try to pick something that's pretty cool, like No Mercy or Bandit, which means thief, or I'm going to take it. It means I'm going to come and take it.
Oh, okay.
Uh, Eastwood was named after one of my favorite actors, of course, Clint Eastwood.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lady Smith was named after a pistol, my
I've been
wife's
researching.
pistol.
I can't even. I'm not even gonna tell you. I got my dogs picked out for my third, fourth already. Like I just make a list, but I can't. I won't say it until I won't say it until the dog come out though. That's
Yeah,
like
and then
top
we have
secret
Hannibal.
information.
We
Oh,
named
you
one
got Hannibal.
Hannibal. Hannibal's off of Scratch and Onyx. It's the male. And then I have Rip. I've always liked the name Rip.
Yeah,
Since,
that's a nice one.
yeah,
Yeah.
the I don't know, just
That's what I
guessing.
said. I told you Lee got something in the work. Lee ain't playing like Lee got him in in the background. And then he up that ego. I'm like, whoa, I didn't even know about that. Cause like I said, I knew about Congo, but I haven't seen him. Then I'm busting him out. It's like, wow, Congo ain't
Yeah,
playing. You know what I'm saying?
Congo's going to be something special. I think. I think he's going to be nice. I think he's going to reproduce really well because he's bred to produce. He's really
I
bred
remember you said that.
very,
You know what?
very
I remember
nice.
you said that. Lee, can you explain that to us? Cause that's something I get confused on. Seed dogs. Can you break that down
Yeah,
a little bit if you don't mind?
sure. Sure. Well, a seed dog means a dog that's bred to produce. And if you look at Congo's pedigree, you'll see that he has a lot of great dogs in his pedigree. We got Lucky Seven over Onyx, got Little Rascal over Valkyrie. Valkyrie was a beast of a dog. Onyx is a beast of a dog. Little Rascal was a great dog. Lucky Seven was a great dog. Halo is one of the best producers of all time. So even though he appears to be pretty scatterbred in many ways, if you actually look at it, Justice is the mother of Onyx, and his sister, Justice's sister, is Valkyrie. So we have the same family coming in with Preacher Man and Blue Jean, coming in through Onyx, and also coming in through Valkyrie. And then Little Rascal and Lucky Seven, both of those dogs go back to Heavy Red Boy Jocko Bolio Tombstone bred stuff. So the pit bull line that's coming in there, yes, we have sorrels behind the Preacher Man dog, which goes to Justice and Widow, and and of course Preacher Man through Valkyrie again. So we have that Sorrel's blood in there, but we have a lot of Red Boy Jocko Bolio Tombstone coming in from Lucky Seven and Little Rascal. So while there's a lot of hybrid vigor there, I still expect him to be a great producer because even though ROM, Register of Merit, doesn't exist in the American Sentinel program, you could definitely, if it did exist, you could definitely give Valkyrie and Halo ROM type status. I mean, those dogs were great. The Preacher Man Blue Jean combination was great. Preacher Man was our foundation. Valkyrie, I mean, there's just loads of great dogs in there. Oh, and then we also have Tiggy in that pedigree because Tiggy is Widow's mother, and Tiggy and Justice and Valkyrie are all siblings. So it's the Sentinel side is line bred, and then you have the Red Boy Jocko Bolio Tombstone coming from Lucky Seven and Little Rascal. So it's bred really well.
So it's no if you doing so it's no such
Con-
thing as a dog that's a seed dog but also an outcross.
yeah, I mean there are. It's
I'm talking
not
about
what you.
I'm talking about like if you outcross from like say a Midgard.
No, I know what you mean, but I would
Yeah.
say okay. There are seed dogs that are out crosses, but that are not necessarily known to be seed dogs until they've been bred, and they just
Oh,
are
okay,
very
okay, I got you. I
they're
got you.
very prepotent.
Oh,
So
okay.
generally speaking, like for example, if you go look at the ADBA RO, or not even just necessarily the ADBA, but just the ROM status of the American Pit Bull Terrier, and look through the history, I think like 6 of the top 10
Uh huh.
ROM dogs of all time were outcrossed dogs, but they didn't
Oh
know that
wow.
they didn't know they were going to be seed dogs until they were bred. But then again, the question here though is, were they really seed dogs or were they just bred so much that they got ROM? Do you know what ROM stands for?
Register a merit.
Yeah, that means that a dog is able to produce really well. But
Okay.
But sometimes you can get a dog that's an ROM that's only been bred, let's say, 2 or 3 times, and another time, another dog may have to be bred 20 times to get ROM. Well, the one that did it in 2 or 3 times is a much better dog than the one that did it in 20 times, because to get ROM status, you only have to get so many points. And you get points by producing champions or grand champions and things like that. So it's I don't like that ROM is based off of points. It should be based off of points divided by the number of breedings. And then that way you can really see if the dog is really a prepotent dog or not, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. So Lee Antoine, he says, tell us about the training thing that you're building.
4,800 square feet, 1,600 of it inside, and 3,200 square feet under an enclosed pole barn. This is Elsa.
Oh,
Hey,
that's
Elsa.
Elsa.
What's up, girl?
What's up,
Yeah.
baby girl?
What's up, girl? Want to say
Elsa
hi to
was
the
showing
camera?
out. Elsa was showing out. Elsa is
She is a
like,
sweetheart. Look at her.
yeah, she is
Rubbing on
very.
me. This is the side of the American Sentinel that a lot of people don't get to see. I mean, look how she
Yeah,
wants to rub on me.
that's something more people need to. More people need to know because we all want working dogs, but they also got to be able to, be around the house because you can't work. You know, you got to be this a regular house dog too, in a sense.
She doesn't just like want attention. She actually lays her head on me sideways, like she wants to be affectionate.
She, like I said, she producing. That's
She got
Reaper.
some nice
That's
teeth.
Reaper mommy. Wow.
Hey, make it full screen so they can see.
Okay, let me see.
Let's see.
Oh, let me see. How do you make it? How do I make you full
You may
screen?
have to share us equal size.
Equal size? I don't know how to. See, it only
You
does
did it
that.
earlier.
I did it earlier.
Yeah. You had us in the center of the screen. Both of us, side by
Oh,
side.
I probably did it because I had to. I shared the screen. Okay, okay. I shared the screen. So let me see if.
It should be right at the bottom of the StreamYard. You should have a place to put us
Yeah,
side by side.
because it tells me it got that one, that one, that one. Let me try to
Get rid of the screen share.
I got rid of the screen share. The screen share, I believe, is what made it to where it came
Huh.
up side to side.
No, okay.
No, let me see.
No,
Damn, I'm
huh.
confused. Yeah.
Since you're the one hosting, I can't do it. But
Yeah.
she just got some real nice teeth. She got
Oh
that from her
yeah, I
daddy,
seen them.
Little
Yeah, I
Rascal.
seen them. You said
Girl.
that so Little Rascal had real big
Yeah,
teeth.
yeah, he had big teeth.
Oh, okay, okay. So they want to know. So you, yeah, I can see them.
She don't like that. Good girl. I got, I, it may be because I gave her ivermectin today, so she doesn't like that ivermectin.
Hmm.
To
So
deworm
so
like
the
what?
so, so the training it's gonna be the training facility. What else, Lee? You can do a lot of different things on there. You can have some seminars.
Yeah, hold on a second. My daughter wants to tell me something. What?
Okay.
Oops. Can you still hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So the building's going to have a guest bedroom in it, a bathroom, a kitchen, a gym, and a storage area, and a training area, and an office, of course.
That's
Hey, girl.
awesome. So we look
Come on.
forward to that one. Let me see what other questions in there. Actual questions, Lee. Lee don't, like I say, Lee get it where it's at. Does Lee like the earlier generations of more 50% 50-50 mastiff pit bulls or the newer generations of more 8 beefless? Great question, Adam. Great question. That,
Well,
that Lee, that's Adam. He got your deposit on the Ranger and Nova.
sure. Well, nobody forced me to add more pit bull. I did that because I like it.
So you do. So you do. So he's asking which one do you like better?
Right. I like the more pit bull better.
Oh
That's
yeah,
why I
you
did it.
like the more pit bull better. Okay, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
You
because
all right
when you
with it?
have
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
the 50-50 cross, you're going to get some of the massive traits that I'm not super fond of, like the extra shedding, the extra drooling, the extra mass that is counterproductive to stamina and heat dissipation. So I like a dog that dissipates heat real well, can work for a long time.
Makes sense. That's a good
Yep.
one, Adam. Is there going to be personal training packages when the training facility is done? Great question.
Um, that's something I haven't considered, but hey, maybe it's an idea.
Yeah, keep that there. So yeah, I look forward to you, Adam, getting your Slam and Nova.
The annual American Sentinel Fest. We need that. Sounds
I
like a good
know.
idea.
Yeah, for sure. And people from all over, I would love that one. Um, yeah.
Reptar, come here, buddy. Come here, Reptar. Reptar,
Reptar,
come on.
chilling.
You gotta say hello. Come here, buddy.
So Tsunami, shout out to Tsunami 7261 261. The Pitbull blood probably makes a Sentinel very loving and affectionate. Yeah,
Yeah, come here,
yeah.
bud.
And I heard Masters was. I never just had a straight Mastiff, but I heard Masters on their own was like loving too. I don't know because I never had one, but
There's Reptar, old man Reptar.
Reptar, Reptar. I
He's
remember when
had
I
a
first
sore on
found
his
out.
nose for a couple years.
Oh, okay. I remember when I
But
first got on to you. That's the one I was seeing the most was Reptar.
yeah, he's one of our house dogs. He's my son's dog.
Yeah.
Elsa's not typically a house dog, but Chewy's in heat, and I had excuse me, Scarlet outside, so we just swapped Elsa and Chewy because
Which state
Chewy came
y'all
in
in?
heat.
Is any of y'all in like South Carolina, North Carolina, Georgia, Florida? We can link up. We can link up. Like I say, I'm in Atlanta. Um, yeah, we can link up for sure. Yeah, that's true. Annual American Sentinel Fest. Yeah, for sure. Lee, will you be starting? Lee, will you be starting your K9 martial arts concept?
Um, I don't know what he means by canine martial arts, but we've thought about having a certification. Whoop, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah.
It was cutting out. The We thought about having a protection certification thing where it's based off of protective aspects more so than sport. The problem is when you make a sport truly objective, you have to have some sort of routine. And when you have a routine, people train for the routine instead of for the objective. And so this is where the judge has to have an eye to look for civil response and intent to eliminate the decoy. You know, the when you're dealing with sports, a lot of times the decoy is a sparring partner, and they want to work with the decoy. And for protection, you don't want to work with the agitator. You want to eliminate
Right.
the agitator.
Okay. Oh, this is
Somebody asked if I like
Oh, sorry.
Rottweilers.
Okay, so you
Honest,
reading the question too? I'm
I
just going
don't.
in order.
I see it. Yeah, I don't like Rottweilers. I don't like the rank drive, and I don't like a dog that only works to establish dominance. When a dog cannot dominate and it quits, then that tells you don't have a true gladiator. You have a dog that's opportunistic, and I don't want a dog that's going to try to dominate me or my kids And if it isn't a conflict, I don't want it to quit just when because it realizes it can't dominate.
In boxing, they call them front runners. They be there. They can do certain things. They might got power, this, and this one, but their stamina get weaker, and then when you start punching them back,
They quit.
start folding. They try to get disqualified. They do all types of weird stuff. Yeah, front runners.
Well, I knew a. All right, there's a video out there somewhere. I think it's moose. It may be elk. I can't remember if it was moose or elk, where there are these two bull, and they're cool with each other. And then one of them gets his antlers hung in a swing set. And when he gets his antlers hung in a swing set, this was the boss. The subordinate takes an opportunity to take out the boss because now the boss is tied up in the swing set. So he goes ahead and eliminates his competition. Well, that means they weren't partners. The boss was a partner, but the subordinate was not. And this is a problem I've seen with rank driven dogs. You can have a subordinate that's not really a team player. I don't want a rank driven dog because if my subordinate is only subordinate because it thinks I'm stronger, then on a day that I'm not stronger, like maybe I'm sick, I'm over the toilet because I got the flu, or something, I don't want the dog to be opportunistic. Or if my kid drops a steak on the ground, I don't want a dog that's going to be trying to correct my kid because it thinks the steak is its possession. So this is something I don't like in a dog.
Oh, okay.
Somebody asked if there's differences between the male and female sentinels.
Yeah.
Not so much. It's going to be more about the individual.
Yeah. Okay. So let me finish typing now. That was he in South Carolina. So we can link up. You got some decoys.
Rank is a type of defense, by the way.
Rank drive.
Yeah, it's a type of
Yeah,
defense.
that's what I was gonna say. Break it down for people, like for so you understand it more. Rank drive.
It's yeah, they're trying to preserve or maintain territory, sex partners, position in pack, things like that. It's not true defense, but it's similar to.
Yeah. Lee, you mind talking to? I'm gonna take them out to the bathroom real quick because they keep bothering
Yeah,
me.
what's up?
You mind
Okay, so
talking
yeah,
to?
no problem.
Yeah, talk to, yeah.
No problem. All right, so Rottweiler. Yeah, I wouldn't want Rottweiler in my program. Especially today's Rottweiler, they've ruined it. You know, they mash their faces in, turn them into looking like pugs and stuff. All right, let's see. South Carolina, are you okay? Okay, you close. Okay, this guy's South Carolina people are talking to each other. All right, well, if y'all have any other questions, put them up. There's a bunch of good trainers in New York City. Send me a message and I'll send you a list. But Gail Raponi's upstate in northern New York, and I think he's a good one to work with. So it depends on what your goal is. Are you looking for protection? Are you looking for obedience? Are you looking for sport? What's the favorite breed? I don't have a favorite breeding. I told someone earlier today, I'm kind of stressed because it's like you got two beautiful women and you don't know who to choose from. I've got so many great dogs, breedings right now. This sounds egotistical. I don't even like saying this to the public, but I've got so many great breedings right now that I want to keep pups off of a lot of them, and I don't have room. I do have somebody that's been talking to me about possibly buying my pit bull program, and if it would happen this year, that would be great because then I could really expand the Sentinel program with 10 more spots. And this is a person that would I would still have access to my pit bulls, so it's not going to be gone. It would be like a partner, but he would keep the pit bulls on his yard, and that would be great. But one of the problems with the Sentinel program is finding people that are going to keep the level uh, where I want it. Let's see if I can get rid of this feedback. I don't know why I'm hearing feedback. Let me see if I can mute this. I don't want to mute my mic. I want to mute my. Okay, here we go. No, I think I just got to live with it. Um, so what was I talking about? Let's see if this will work. Whoop, did I lose myself? I keep hitting a button. Okay. Um, let's see here. Sorry, y'all. Can you hear me now? Yeah. So I don't want to give up my pit bull program because it's really unique. I've got basically like the only pit bull sorrels based pit bull program in the United States that could be sustained for 20 years. And that's pretty cool because it's really got a ton of sorrels dogs, and I'm not talking about on just on pedigree. I'm talking about the performances there as well, and it could continue to go for 20 years without having to go out off my yard. As long as people select for quality, they can do it. And and this guy that's interested in our program, if it was this year, it'd be great because then I could add 10 more Sentinels to the program. It'd be great if I had some more people like Ryan, who or Keaton Temple, who could keep some dogs and be part of the program. The problem is everybody that wants to volunteer for that spot, they all want it for free or for near free, and that's not sustainable. This is a very expensive program, and when I keep a dog and it doesn't work out for me, that's an investment for myself. But a lot of people don't want to accept that investment. Yeah, I wish I could find about 3 or 4 people that were willing to commit into buying 4 or 5 high quality breeding dogs, and we could put some dogs with some other people. And then if they didn't work out, we'd make sure they get another breeding dog, but they got to buy breeding class animals, not just using what's down the street or available for next to nothing. I can't sell my Grand Champion Apex dogs for pet class prices. They have to go to people that are willing to pay for those animals so I can keep doing what I do. It's expensive.
Did you answer those questions, Lee? Any good trainers in New York City? Yeah, we.
Yeah, I told them to send me a message and I'd give them a list. But
So
check
you
out
can
Gail
talk.
Raponi in upstate New York. The favorite breeding I have, I addressed that. I like the whole lineup. I don't have a single one that's my favorite. Can I talk about the safety aspect? I don't know what he means. What safety aspect?
What you mean by safety aspect? What you mean by that? It's for.
For
Okay. For
for
protection.
protection and obedience, check out Gail Raponi for protection work. For obedience, make the person that you're going to work demo. And I would not leave my dog with them unless they have cameras, because at this day and time, there's unfortunately a lot of abusive people that don't actually give your dog the time that it needs, and then they try to catch up and slap some e-collars and abuse the animals to try to catch up on it. And I don't like that type of training. I think it should be done with patience.
I don't. What do you understand what he's saying by that? Can you have safety? What do you mean? Can you have safety? Sport. You gotta have to write it out a little better than that, Red X. I don't understand. Like, can you have
Can
obedience?
you have a dog that's safe around people and still do sport and protection?
Is
Yeah,
that
that's
what you
called
mean?
obedience. Called
Oh
obedience.
yeah.
You got to just put obedience on
Being
them.
protection doesn't equate to being like
There's different
protection
kinds of
doesn't
protection.
equate to it doesn't
There's
equate to being like super dangerous. They just protective. Like that doesn't mean that
it can be
it can
like
be,
a
but not
century dog,
also.
but it doesn't. If you have a civil dog, a century dog, then yeah, it could be a liability. But if you have a dog that's protective on command,
Right.
then you can still have a social animal.
I'm trying to look up. I asked some people on Twitter. They didn't know. I'm gonna try to help you find somebody in Michigan. I know Chicago, but Michigan. If I find somebody, when I find somebody, I'm gonna definitely
Yeah, I
get
know
in
some people in
contact with you.
Chicago also. So,
Chicago.
Michigan's close to Chicago, or it could be far away depending on where you are in Michigan.
Yeah, you can do. That's why it's even if you get a rescue dog from this. If you pay $500 for a rescue dog, because these rescue dogs at these shelters ain't free, right? You still should. It's just my opinion. You should train your dog to be neutral, even if they intention whore. Just train them to be neutral because you don't want to. Like, it's so distracting when you trying to like work with your dog and you got all these people. Oh, let me pet your dog and talking all that. That's like that's too much sometimes. And you don't want your dog becoming reactive because they overly stimulated because they looking for attention. And then you got your dog reacting and then they whining. So teach your dog to be neutral. So that's training right there. That's training. Just because your dog does protection and is protective, that doesn't equate to being unstable. So that's what a lot of people get misconstrued, that they think your dog is unstable because he's not friendly to the public. You get what I'm saying? Just it's people that's bodyguards that work security. They not friendly to you, but that don't mean they unstable. They just doing their job. They don't got time to be like talking to you like that.
The perfect dog is like Rocky Balboa. You know, they're nice when you're nice, and they'll knock you out when you're not.
Yeah. Yeah. Would love to. Yeah, that takes a lot of. That's a lot of work. It's the toughest breed and breeder is Bando. Okay, I didn't know you had mugs, Lee. You got those for sale?
No, my wife gave me that for as a gift.
For those who don't know, if y'all on Facebook, make sure y'all join the Facebook group because we are close to 3,000 followers. And I told Lee when we get to 3,000, we're gonna have some trivia now. Lee, when you come up with the question, make sure they challenging. They gonna have to answer the question. They gonna have to be like challenge. It ain't gonna be no easy question. You're gonna have to really know some Sentinels. And once you get it, you're gonna get like a hoodie and some other merch. It's only one prize per winner, so we do have like 3 or 4 winners, and just to do something fun when we get there. So we at like 25, 50. So we got like 450 more followers to go. So make sure y'all join the Facebook group. American Sentinel group is right on there too. And I'll put in the link if you want to join my WhatsApp.
Julie, do you mind if I talk about calling for just a sec?
Oh yeah, go ahead. You can talk about whatever. Yeah, go ahead.
So earlier I asked you to scroll up to my comment about Kimura and Titus. And Kimura was the biggest one in the litter except for Titus. I'm going to take this off my head because I keep hearing
Titus
echo.
the male. I remember Titus. Yeah, I remember Titus. Yeah.
So Kimura was the biggest one in the litter except for Titus. Now, Titus was absolutely beautiful. I mean, he was one of the prettiest dogs I've ever produced. Just absolutely beautiful. Looked like Slam and all that. But he didn't have all the components that I wanted in a working dog. And there's a lot of people that will take a dog like that and say, well, since I bought him and I spent $1,500 for him, and you might think, well, Lee, you didn't buy the dog, I produced it. Well, remember, if I could have sold the dog for $1,500 or $2,000 or $2,500, but chose not to, then I basically bought the dog for whatever I could have sold him for. And once time goes on and he doesn't meet my criteria for a working class animal, and I see that he's a pet class animal, I could sell that dog as a pet class animal. But the problem I see a lot of people in this industry, in the dog world, is they get a pet animal and then they want to breed it and sell it for working class. And that's not cool. You know, when you have a pet class animal, you need to understand it's a pet class animal and cull it from the program. By cull it, that means spay or neuter or just isolate, don't let it breed. Or it could be a hard cull, which requires euthanasia, depending on the situation. But cull just means do not allow it to contribute. And there's a lot of people that if they import a Dogo Argentina, they're like, hey, I got to breed it because it's a Dogo and it's rare and it's popular and everybody likes it. So they breed it and they put pups on the ground, and then Dogos are no longer any good. And then the Presa Canario becomes popular. And so people buy Presa and they're like, hey, I got a Presa. They're rare. They're really cool. They're working dogs. I got one. I'm going to breed it. And then the Presa becomes no good because they're breeding dogs that are pet class. I didn't invent the American Sentinel so people could buy pet class dogs and breed them. The pet class dogs need to be identified as pet class dogs. And What I'm looking for in the American Sentinel is a dog that's comfortable in combat, whether it be catching a hog or doing protection work. It doesn't have to do both because you can imprint the dog early on and get it to transfer those drives and instincts towards a target if you know how to imprint an animal. But people got a cull, and it's really concerning to me to see all the work that I've put into this over my lifetime, and then people want to just get a pet class animal and breed it. I had one guy that wanted to buy literally, he wanted a discount for like 5 dogs. He wanted to buy 5 dogs for like $500 a piece, and I was like, well, what? Why do you want 5 dogs for $500 a piece? And he's like, well, I want to be a breeder, and I'm like, no, because at $500 a piece, you're talking about buying pet class animals that have been culled from the program. Are you going to take my work and just proliferate it and use the name and run it into the ditch, producing a population off of low class sentinels that are not even that don't even meet the requirement? The American Sentinel has a 2-tier registration. The first one is you're born, you get your pedigree, but the second tier is you have to go out and do something that shows that you're worthy, and also have to have a health hip X-ray check. So there's levels to this, just like with gazelle and cheetah. For a cheetah to earn the right to breed, it has to catch a gazelle, and for a gazelle to earn the right to breed, it has to run away from the cheetah. You can't. It's just because you're born doesn't mean I'm going to ride the pedigree. And so finding good people to take this breed to the next level would be very, very nice. I'm 56 years old, and when I'm 75 years old, I'd like to have a sentinel, but I probably won't be breeding too many anymore. I may have a few, but let's say I downsize to just 6 dogs when I'm 76 years old or something, and then I want to outcross. Well, for me to get an outcross, I might have to buy a sentinel from someone else. I want it to be worthy. It doesn't need to be something that people have ruined. Otherwise, this whole project was a waste of time. It needs to be high standards.
And there's
Keep
nothing
the
wrong with
standards.
that. I mean, that's great, because there's not a lot of people like keeping it standard. It just becomes about money and pedigree and the breed standard. Like a lot of people
And
just
convenience. A lot of people want to breed off convenience. Oh, my buddy's got a pit bull, I'll use it. Oh, my buddy down here's got a mastiff, I'll use it. When I bred to a weight pull dog, which I don't really like to use weight pull dogs, but when I did, I looked up which dog held the world record. I looked up Bonacorsi's Porky held the world record. He didn't just beat the record. Porky, the old record on snow was 800 pounds. This was a long time ago. Bonacorsi's Porky was an 80-pound dog, and his weight division, the old record was 800 pounds. He pulled 2,000. He didn't just beat the record, he demolished it. So I called up Bonacorsi and I asked him, hey, who's your favorite female? And he said, a female named Rose. And I said, well, are you going to ever breed Porky to Rose? And he said, yes, I will. I said, I want to buy a pig pup off of that. Then I got another dog off of that. So I ended up going there. I ended up getting 3 dogs from Bonacorsi's Porky. Out of those 3, 2 of them worked out. One of them I culled. Did I call up Mr. Bonacorsi and said, you need to replace the cull? No, I just moved on with my life. It's part of the game. I can't. I could have probably called him up. I may have gotten a replacement, but I'm not saying I won't replace the dog. I will. Obviously, I'll replace health. I have a health guarantee, but my point here is, don't buy a pet class animal and then expect it to be breeding class. There's a fella that in Florida who I gave a great discount on because he bought like 5 dogs from me, and he was a hog hunter. And after he bought 5 dogs, or no, excuse me, that's right, yeah, 5 dogs from me, I think. Yeah, that's right, 5 dogs. He bought 5 dogs that were pet class animals that we were culling from the program for hog, and he wanted to try them for hog hunting. What did this guy do? He went out and worked them, and out of the 5 that he got, 4 of them worked out. That told me this guy knows what he's doing. He's actually putting in the work because he made working class animals out of pet class animals. This is something that if you want something for a discount, you have to prove to me that you're worth offering a discount to, because you can take something that's, before you're going to work on my Ferrari, I want to make sure you can work on a go kart. If you can't work on a go kart, you're not going to touch the Ferrari. So if you want a great animal at a discount, let's see what you can do with an average animal first. Otherwise, you're going to be in over your head. I'm not going to just throw my great animals to somebody that haven't proved that they're worthy of handling it. And this is a topic that may come out condescending or arrogant, but it's a real problem with creating a working breed. You need a team of people. We don't live in the gladiator times where we can keep 200 animals anymore. We have to have a team of people. But
Yeah,
but
that's a
some
good.
people,
Nah, go
I'm
ahead.
sorry,
Nah, I was
I'm just
listening.
good.
Yeah, go.
But everybody on the team needs to have that high standard. And it doesn't mean the same standard. It just means high standard. Like, let's say you want to do hog catch. Okay, well, if you want to do hog catch and someone over here wants to do protection work, that's two different standards. But they both need to be comfortable in combat. If I see a dog that is afraid to stay engaged, it needs to be eliminated. Whether it's stay afraid of a hog or afraid of a person. Now, it doesn't have to do both. It can do one or the other. I might have a dog that's afraid to engage a person, but it's really committed to a hog. Or I may have a dog that's really maybe. I would not want any dog to be afraid of a hog, to be honest with you. But I can understand with a protection dog, you don't really want it to do hog work because it's going to bite your friends that you're hunting with. So I wouldn't expect a protection dog to hog hunt, only because it's not given the opportunity. But all the dogs should catch a hog.
He said, so true about Dogo. It took me 2, 3 years of hard research and my dad going down to Argentina to hog hunt with his specific kennel before I decided on a breeder. Yeah. That's a
Yeah,
good question, Lee. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say on that note, if you're really looking for a good dogo, uh, I actually have an in for that. To go right to the family that produced it, and they have actually softened the breed, but they actually have a connection with people that bought the dogs from their grandfathers and or grandfather, and he's they know somebody that's got a line that was the real intense ones. I personally am not interested in it, but I'm really good friends with someone that's related to them, and we have connections to high quality dogo if someone's looking for them.
So you mentioned you do the hips. Well, he had a question about the shoulder. Is it the elbows or is it the shoulders? Is that the same thing? The elbows and shoulders. How does that work?
Well, I've never done elbows. We haven't really had a problem with it. And honestly, I've never had problems with hips either, except for with the ones that were off of like Achilles, the Neapolitan Mastiff. You have to watch out for that with the Neo.
Mm.
And it was really in the first generation or second generation. Since we've gotten deeper, we don't have any hip issues anymore. But all right, so Blue Jean had a brother named Rhino, and Rhino was hip dysplastic. He was actually, his hips were bad enough that we had him euthanized. He was a direct son of Achilles the Neapolitan. Beautiful, beautiful animal, but he was dysplastic on one side. And then Blue Jean herself was good. I think there was a couple though that she may have produced that had some hip dysplasia, but if you look at her pets now, that stuff's getting further back and it's been eliminated. I can't even think of any hip problems in the last 6 years or so, which is we produce about 100 dogs a year, so that's like in the last 600 dogs. That's I don't know of any.
He said, "Why are dogs not able to be shipped air cargo anymore? Nowadays, it's all transporters. It was more convenient for a customer to pay for shipping and pick up from the pup. You can still do that. I know Britt does it, but you can also when I
He's
got
talking about
kennels.
something else. So Brit does carry on, not cargo.
Yeah. Oh, cargo. Oh, yeah, cargo. But if your puppy is, oh, you talking about for the bigger ones? But if your puppy is, I think it's 18 pounds, you can just do it yourself. You can just drive to Lee's. You can fly to Lee's yourself and just fly back the same day. If you want to do that, just fly to
Yeah,
the airport and then just fly right back.
yeah. What Britain does is carry on. He has a little duffel
Yeah,
bag. It's like a puppy carrier, and you can do that. And that's certainly available. But you need to get your dog before it's 10 weeks old if it's going to have a lot of size to it. Now, if it's a pit bull, you can get it at 3 months, 3.5 months. Well, probably not 3.5, probably 3 months. But the Sentinels, you're better off picking up at 8 to 9 weeks, or at very most 10 weeks. Otherwise, they're starting to get too big for the carry on. But
That's
cargo was actually no size. Well, there was a size limit on the plane, so it was limited to the plane because of the door on the cargo of the plane. So you could go up to, I think, a intermediate crate or maybe even a large, but they didn't carry the giants or the XLs. They didn't have the big ones here in Mississippi. Now, if you went to LaGuardia or New Orleans, then they could carry the big one. But in Jackson, they could only go up to either the intermediate or the large. But they stopped doing that when COVID happened because there was a shipping embargo, and Delta Airlines, as far as I know, has never opened it back up, and that's who we liked using because they were super easy to work with. But I don't think they do it anymore. Now you can still use cargo with American Airlines, but the problem with American Airlines is you have to do all this pre-approval paperwork, and you have to submit photos of the dog, and if they think it's a pit bull, they won't do it. And you can do all the paperwork, get approval, and go there, and the person behind the counter can say no. So you wasted a week. You had to get a health certificate, you had to schedule it, you had to get it approved, then you go there and they turn it down, and then you got to do all of this again. And I don't like doing that. I'd rather just get a transporter. Everybody knows what's up.
yeah. Yeah,
No
that's the
backing
way
out.
to do the transporter, or you just fly in there before they like 20 pounds or so.
It's easy. You can still go to the airport and get your dog if you just get it at 8 to 10 weeks. No
Yeah,
problem.
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, they
And if
could.
you don't do it, then ground transport will bring it straight to your house.
Yeah, but sometimes like if you live like say if you, some people I don't like driving too far. Like so driving 6 hours is bad. That's 12 hours. It was easier for me to fly to Mississippi when I got Jaguar and just fly right back and do a same day thing. It actually ended up probably it was cheaper. And you only got to pay that one fee. It was $95. Now I think it's 125. And you just carry him in the thing. But like you said, you are right about the size because he was getting to the size where he just barely made it at 10 weeks. But if he would have waited a week or two longer, then he would have been too big for the he'd have been too big for the carry on. But yeah, in the transporter you can do that. Horatio, the total line, he's one of the grandsons of Dr. Martinez, I believe. Different direction, other grandson you lives that run.
Yeah, I would have to talk to my friend that's related to the family. But a lot of the families, the doggos have become softer, but there is one guy that's keeping the old, more intense animals. But unfortunately, they can be kind of unstable and bite their handlers. So it's not really something I like.
Now, for Lee, as a guy that's been running his business for almost 30 years, is there anything else that'll make your communication with a client even more efficient? Because I was mentioning the writing on a paper so you know before they email you. Anything else that you want to bring
Yeah,
up?
I think it's good to write it out and be concise. I don't need, I'm not trying to be disrespectful here, but I'm a one-man team. I got 30 dogs and a family and 9 acres and all this stuff that I have to train, manage, and market and customer service all this by myself. And so I like it when people come with concise information, make it direct to the point, say what you got to have to say. Don't worry about offending me with being direct. I actually prefer it when people are direct. You're not going to offend me. Just be direct. Tell me what you want, what you're looking for, what you need it for. And if you need to get approval from your wife, ask her before you call me.
So, according to what he said, that's one of Lee's pet peeves. I done pet peeves. So, saying you gotta talk to your spouse is one of Lee's pet peeves.
It doesn't bother me if you have to do it, just do it before you call me. Don't call me up and take 2 or 3 hours of my time and then say, "Well, okay, this sounds great. I want to place a deposit. Let me talk to my wife." What? Like, some people need to talk to their wife and some people don't. If you're a hog hunter and you're going to keep dogs outside in a pen and it's not in your house, then that's on you. But if you're going to have a dog in your house with a family, then you need to work that out with your wife before you call me.
Exactly. Especially if you already got other dogs and stuff there, you gotta know. But that just makes it. Anything else, Lee?
No, be concise. Understand I'm a one man team. Come direct. Put all your questions in one message. Number them so I don't miss any. Um,
Don't
I'll be
ask for
glad to help
free.
you.
Don't ask for free dogs. Don't
It's
do
a
that.
sad. It's sad. It happens
Don't
like
do
all
that.
the time.
That's very not cool. That's like almost a slap in the face. Like that's like, cause I got my own
You know,
business.
it's
And
generally
it's like
speaking,
that's
it's it's sport trainers that a lot of times ask for free dogs. People that are in the training arena ask for free dogs.
okay.
You don't have homeowners ask you for free dogs. It's always a trainer or a
Oh, okay,
sport
okay,
trainer.
makes
And
sense.
I'm not talking about top tier trainers. I'm talking about people that just go to a club and they have a PSA decoy or a Schutzen decoy, but they've never titled a dog before. And if they've never titled a dog, it's no advertisement for me. So if it's no advertisement for me, then how is that good for me? If you want me to give you a free dog, you have to show that you're Mario Andretti, you know, and worth putting Mobile One on the card. You have to show that you're worthy. Otherwise, you're just another person. If you want me to pay for training, then you need to pay for the dog. You know, just if you're going to pay for training and you want to be successful, then you're going to need a good dog, and that means you're going to be doing work that's valuable. But guess what? I did work that's valuable. That's why you didn't go to the pound. You chose to find a good candidate, because if you want something that's just free, get it from the pound.
Get your rescue dog from the
And
pound, and you get the
and
big
even
fish
then,
with the
like you said
fins.
earlier, it's still not free. You're going to
It's
end up
not.
paying $750 by the time you're
Yeah,
done
it's
with it.
not. Yeah, so I mean, you might as well wait a couple more months.
Save up your money.
Double, yeah. Yeah, save up to about 2,000, 2,500. You might as well. You know what I'm
I
saying?
mean, I
Unless
think
you
a
really want.
pound dog, a lot of them are $500 or $700
Yeah,
now.
they are. That's what I told people last night. It's not, these dogs ain't free no more because it's a business. See, a lot of people don't know the shelter game is a business as well. You
We
know.
had a transporter that was picking up stray dogs in Mississippi. They transported dogs for us. They actually ran a good transport business. They would anytime they transported a stray, they would keep it for a couple weeks, vaccinate it, make sure it was good before they took it on route. But they would literally they would fill up their van with a number of transports and take them to New York and sell them to rescues. Now, that's not a rescue, that's a business.
Exactly. So for all the people out there that love to virtual signal that you got a rescue dog, I got a rescue dog, and you want this like a trophy because you got a dog from the shelter, you better look into the stuff that you be getting even from the shelter.
I don't want to misspeak, but I don't remember if it's the Humane Society of the United States or the ASPCA, but one of those, maybe both, I don't know. Their CEOs are getting paid like $500,000 and more.
Yeah, that's big business.
I'll look it up while we're on
And
the.
it makes sense. And it makes sense why they would have the adopter don't shop. And if you think about it, like I was saying last night, the adopter don't shop is a cult. And it makes sense that they 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 brainwash you into a cult so that way they can keep the money circulating in the shelters. See?
All right, so Kitty Block, CEO of the Humane Society of the United States, has a compensation that exceeds 600 to $650,000.
Mm.
And then the ASPCA president, Mark Burtshatter, has a salary that's in excess of $750,000. Total compensation is $1.2 million, 750,000 base, and 276,000 bonus, and then 47,000 worth of benefits. 1.2 million. and they're going to say that I'm some bad guy because I make a few $1,000s a month.
Exactly. And then they and then a lot of times they be lying. Like a lot of the dogs might have bite history, but they'll lie. They don't be telling the truth about all the dogs neither, because they got it's a business. I don't know what a he said. Lee, what's your thoughts on the American Bull Molosser?
Molosser. That's Gail Raponi's program. Gail Raponi he's a legit dude. He's somebody that you can work with and you don't have to look over your shoulder. He's a stand up guy.
Mm. Oh, okay.
I think
Oh,
the
that's the
person is more important than the
Oh, that's
breed.
the so Chris is gonna go to him. So that's in New York. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
where you.
he's a good protection dog trainer. And he has an organization called the CCDL, it's Canine Civil Defense League.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
They just be adopt on shop. Yeah, would produce their own kids instead of adopting the child from the foster kid. Exactly. There's
Yeah.
people who just make it's a cult though. Now since you said it, like the person making that much sense, it makes sense because that's when they started the cult, they knew what the objective was. Okay, we're gonna make this money, but we gotta people that start cults would be real smart, but they like real tricky on how they do it. So that makes sense now. That's you making
Well,
all that money.
there's so many problems with adoption. If you want to adopt a dog, that's cool. I don't have a problem with it. But the problem is with these organizations is they're dishonest. They don't tell people you don't know what you're buying. We don't know what the breeds are. We don't know who the parents are. We don't know if the dog's going to have genetic defects. And there is no guarantee, and it's not free. You're going to pay $750, and if the dog has a disease, that's your problem. There is no breeder guarantee.
So that right there. So is it easier for a client that's trying to reach you? Is it better to call you, text you, or email you?
Uh, Probably call, and if I don't answer, then send me a text or email,
Mm.
and then leave your phone number. The reason why I say call is because we can get a conversation, cover a lot of content real quick, and be done with it.
Yeah.
But if I'm busy, like today, I was riding a tractor, smoothing out the dirt for the building where we're going to put it, and my phone's buzzing, and I can't just stop every time I do couple passes and just pull out my phone and see what's going on. I'm out there in the heat. I need to get this done. So sometimes I don't answer the phone, and it's not because I want to be rude. It's because I'm in the middle of a project and I'm running it by myself. Or maybe I'm feeding dogs. I got a bucket of food in one hand and a scoop of food in the other. Or I'm doing a breeding, breeding Boomer to Onyx, and my phone starts ringing. Well, I'm holding an American Pit Bull Terrier on top of an American Sentinel, and I need to make sure this breeding's successful. So it'd be nice when we have our building if we can hire an employee or two to help us
That'd be
out with
nice
that.
though. Yeah, that'd be nice. And that'd make you even more efficient. You know what? I got to thinking of a question, right? I'm trying to think of it myself if I was buying a Sentinel. So these are hypothetical, right? So say I'm looking on your list, and I'm looking on your list, and in the first pick male and the first pick female is already reserved. Are you open to a person's like, look, man, I want the top pick. I know you said it's reserved for yourself, but if I paid you, if it's the top, if the second pick was 3,000, if I'll be like, man, Lee, please, man, can I get this? If I gave you $4,000, do you do
That's
that too?
happened. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
happened a couple of times.
yeah. So
We've
how do you handle those situations?
Well, we had I sold two dogs for 5 grand that were American Pit Bull Terriers, and I've sold one Sentinel for 5 grand. And then it happened when we had dogs reserved for us, and somebody insisted on having them. Then also we had a dog that we were keeping, and somebody offered us 7 grand, and I still refused to sell it. So sometimes I'll do it, and sometimes I won't. It just kind of depends on what I need. And sometimes I'm reserving a dog because it's a good breeding and I could use it. And then other times I'm like, I just can't. I mean, let's say, for example, when Slam got killed, I can't sell that pup. I need that pup to preserve
Right.
that line. You know,
So there you got it, guys. So Lee, I mean, if you see it up on there, you add him in on the first pick. Now that's not asking for a free dog. You're paying more money and you're just asking about it. That's not cheesy right there. You like, man, I want this one. You never know. Lee might
they can
have it
ask.
come open.
There's no harm in
Yeah,
asking
yeah.
for to buy something. There is harm in asking for free. Some people are like there's no harm in asking for free. Yeah, there is. It's called offensive. It's saying that you don't think my work is valuable. If you think if you're bringing value, and that's so much value that you think I should appreciate it, then I should also be appreciated. But I want to submit real quick since I said when Slam passed away or got killed, I don't want people to think that something inappropriate happened. So Keaton was working, and his neighbor had some trees cut down, and they had the skid steer over there, and he doesn't really know what happened. Something with he came home, and the skid steer was by the dog, and the trees were everywhere. So he doesn't know if the tree landed on his dog when his neighbor was cutting trees. Of course, the neighbor didn't come up and tell him what happened, so he doesn't know what happened to Slam. It's an unfortunate loss.
But you got a son though. With
Yeah,
the slam,
I've got
slam and Elsa or slam and Nova.
I got Kimura off of Slam and Banshee. I've got
Mm-hmm.
Rip out of Slam and Elsa, and then I've got Bullet out of Slam and Nova. So I got
Oh,
three of
okay.
his
So
offspring.
you got the slam blood. Okay, you got the
Yeah, I got
slam
three of
blood.
them. And then Keaton has a Slam dog also. Not Ryan. I'm talking about Keaton Temple. He's
Keaton
got a dog
Temple,
off of
yeah.
Slam. Yep.
Keaton Temple. For those who don't know, Keaton Temple has Nova. He's part of that breeding. Yeah. So yeah. So
You know
there you
what?
got it.
I think his Slam and Nova male. I think it got killed hog hunting. I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'm not exactly sure. That dog would be young for hog hunting. I don't remember. I may be thinking of a different dog.
Yeah. So yeah, that happened. That's a good. You almost. You would have been bragging too. People that adopt their dogs be like so proud, man. You would have been like, Adam, oh, I got your dog. Whatever your dog was, the breed would have became rescue because you would have just kept saying, my rescue, my rescue.
Hey, it's funny that he says they didn't tell him about the dog being deaf. I had somebody come here for obedience training. They adopted a dog and it was deaf.
Mm.
I actually had the videos of me training that dog on my
Oh, I think
YouTube
I
channel.
remember that. It was a German Shepherd or something.
No. That was a
It
different
was a
dog.
bully. It
The,
was a
the,
bully.
the
It was
deaf one,
something.
yeah, the deaf one was like an American Bulldog like dog.
Mm.
It looked like American Bulldog crossed with a pit bull or something. It was a beautiful animal. He was jacked.
Yeah, I heard Tsunami 7261. I heard a lot of Cane Corso. I don't know for sure, but I heard Cane Corso's got Rottweiler, Boxer, Neapolitan blood for sure, and it's another one, Bull Masters or something in there. That's the if you listen to the Cane Corso breeders, then they'll tell you. Even some of the breeders will be honest with you, but you know some people ain't gonna be, but some are. They'll just tell you. Yeah, being a deaf, yeah, that's crazy right there. So there, I appreciate you joining us, Lee. Anything else before any other questions before we get out of here, Lee? Anything else you wanted to say about your breedings? So you, if we had to flip a coin, are you or aren't you 2 years from now going to have your own Soros Pitbull Robinson line? 2 years from now, or are you just going to be strictly
Well,
Sentinel?
I think my Soros dogs already kind of have my stamp on them because I took Madison Parker's stuff and then the old Soros stuff from Mickey, and I put them together because Madison still had working dogs, and by putting them together, it really clicked. And my whole yard of pit bulls is based off of Frankie Bomp. They're great dogs. We have some Soros dogs that are pure Soros, but the purpose of that is to keep them back with the Frankie Bomp stuff. So it's just worked out really well. And then you have Miss Bannock, which goes back to Sadie, which is also from Madison Parker's yard. But as far as in 2 years, I'm hoping that what I spoke to you about earlier works out, where that friend of mine's going to take the pit bulls and keep them for me, and I'll still have access to it, and then I can just open up 10 kennels for Sentinels. This is what I probably sound like. I'm really harping on the branching of the program out with other camps because I need that for the breed to become a breed. The problem is people don't want to put in the investment. When you tell me you want something for super cheap, or hey, can I have it? That tells me your level of commitment. And if your level of commitment is low, then you're not the person I want to work with. And it's not just about the money, it's about the commitment. You have to be willing to invest yourselves. I mean, I got 35 years in this, 36 years in it, 26 years is breeding, 10 years of education prior. Look at my property. Everything on my property is based on the kennels, man. It's just it's a major investment. I don't get to go on vacation. So if you're gonna be like, hey, let me have one for free or for $300, then I know you're going on your vacation. I know that you're going to just have the dogs when it's convenient, and that's not what we're looking for. We're looking for people that are dedicated to it.
This is a question from Adam. Do you ever see dogs you sell to clients that perform so well that you would breed back into your program? Good question.
Yeah, of course. I've got a guy in Texas that's got Slam that we're probably going to send. Slam. I mean, Split. He has Split.
I remember Split. Split is Justice and Machete, right?
No, he's He's Machete's brother. He's
Brother,
Justice
yeah,
Betty
yeah,
Crocker.
yeah. Betty Crocker, yeah, I remember
Yeah,
him.
we're probably gonna breed back to him. We're either gonna take Makita to him or Elsa to him, most likely in the future. Can't say for sure, but that's a possibility. The also look at Ryan's yard. I bred Danger to Trinity, and I plan on breeding Danger to Trinity again. Danger's a good dog. Ryan, excuse me, Keaton Temple. He has a dog Rex. We'll probably breed to Rex. We're breeding to Nova on her next heat. He's gonna. But these are people that built their yard off our dogs.
Makes sense. That's a good question. Yeah, I appreciate y'all, man, coming through. Make sure you hit up Lee. Like I said, this is 9 breedings. This is 9 breedings. So if you're really serious about getting a Sentinel, you got 9 different breedings to choose from.
That's for the year.
Within the year, yeah. Out of the 9, 7 of them is going to have brindle. So if brindle's your favorite color like me, and you insisting on that, then you got 7 out of 9. So it's no excuses for you. There's no excuses for you, and you get a combination. Whether you want to do, like you said, hunt, you want to hunt, and then like you said, they cool just to be around the house,
Yeah, I bred. Somebody asked if I breed Bumper to Trinity. We've done that before. It worked pretty good. I may do it again. I don't know. Trinity's getting a little up there in age, and I want to breed her to Ranger and also to Danger.
Again, and, Danger again. Okay.
Yeah, I wanted to keep one off of Danger, but somebody had to have my pup.
Yeah. Do you plan on keeping a puppy off of Congo and Reaper?
That's where I need this extension program.
Yeah.
Because I want one. I mentioned to Jalik earlier that somebody's wanting to buy our pit bull program and keep it for me, but they can't do it till next year, and it's really kind of hurts me because if they could do it this year, man, I'd be filling up these kennels with the Sentinel lineup that I've got coming down the pipe. And as far as you said, with the 9 breedings that we have, I've seen some people say that if you have more than 5 litters a year, you're a puppy mill. We have 30 dogs, y'all. Out of the 30 dogs, let's just say 10 of them are males and 20 of them are females. That's just an approximation. So having let's just say I have 20 females and I have 20 litters. That means I'm not even breeding every female.
People just say that those are the same people that they
Adopt.
just like I said, that's part of that
Yep.
cult, the Dr. Shopton cult. That's like
Yep.
they got the same mindset. Like they think the same.
What's my opinion on breeding multiple males with a single female? At the same heat cycle, I think that's a no-no unless there's extenuating circumstances. So we had, if you go back 24 years ago, 23 years ago, I had a female named Snaps that would only come in heat about once every 18 months. I mean, she was really slow on coming to heat. And she was a great dog, but because she was, I got her like 2.5 years old. We kept her till she was 5, and I think she came in heat twice. Or no, it was more than that. It was more than that. I got her, yeah, 2.5, maybe 2.5 to 6, and she came in heat twice. So one of the times we did breed her to both two males, and we had to DNA test all the puppies and the mother and both sires because you need to know who's who. I don't think it's wise to do that. Why would you do that if a female's coming in heat on a regular basis? If the female's coming in heat every 6 to 8 months, there's no reason to use two males. In fact, if you use two males, let's say the female has 6 or 8 puppies, but now you have two males, so you got 3 males or so by each puppy or by each sire. So you have fewer to choose from. If you really want to drive the program to maximum evolution, to maximize their potential, then you need a large population of puppies to choose the right ones. And so by instead of having 3 or 4 from this sire and 3 or 4 from this sire, why not have all 6 or 8 out of one sire and really find the best 2 or 3 puppies, let them grow up, find out which one's really the best, and then use that one for the next generation. And then repeat the breeding with the other male later on. Then you have a better selection. Think about it like this. Do you know why there's different classes of high schools when you play football? You can't take a AA school and have it compete with a 5A school because the 5A school has a much larger student body. And the larger student body is able to select a better tier, a higher tier of performance because they have more to choose from. So when you have more to choose from by doing 2 breedings with the 2 males instead of 1 breeding that's shared between 2 males, the more pups you have, the better you have to choose from. So do 2 breedings, separate breedings.
You said which of your sentinels is showing the same level of intensity as Vicious? You talking about Vicious Vicious as a puppy was intense.
Yeah, he was intense, and so was Hair Trigger. It's a hard one to answer. Man, I think about it. I was working those pups a lot back then too.
That was back in 2022, so that's the year that you had um Scratch and Phoenix. Those puppies was intense. Scratch and Phoenix, and that was the same year you had Bumper and Jazz. And
everything off of Elsa's like that.
Yeah, they was. Are you in contact with the person that you sold Crazy? Remember Bumper and Jazz? They was cray cray and something you called them. They was really intense. I was like, wow.
I don't even know who you're talking about.
That was Bumper and Jazz in 2022.
Huh.
That was. Let me see if I can bring up the. They was wild. That litter was crazy, bro. They was wild. Like it was like them and the Death Wish litter was like equal tie. They was those 2 dogs right there was like wow. I was like,
well, I'll tell you, Hair Trigger's a really good producer, and we gave her to Ryan Keaton at Detail Sentinels. He's got her now because I got a pup off of Hair Trigger and Scratch that's looking great. You got one off of Hair Trigger and Scratch.
Mm-hmm.
You got the first one. I got the second one. I mean, you got the first breeding. I got you got the first breeding. I got the second breeding.
Second breeding, yeah.
Yep.
Let me see if I can find this one so y'all can. I forget which. Let me see. Bumper. Yes. Let me see if you still got it up there. If you left it, you might have took it. I think you called him. Let's see.
I gave Hair Trigger to Ryan.
Yeah.
He was asking.
Scratch and Jazz. Yo, if I find a video, I'll put it in the thing. Those puppies was like on a different level. They was like super intense. I was like, whoa.
Congo was intense as a pup. People said I was sleeping on him. He was intense, man. He was intense. People just didn't know it.
Mm.
He stayed in the kennel for a long time because I was dealing with some family issues with my mama. My mom's going to be 93 next month. She's getting up there.
Yeah, yeah. I think he took it. Yeah, he took it down. Yeah, I'm trying to.
Yeah, a lot of our old puppy videos are more than 3 years ago. We don't have them anymore because we made the productions channel.
Yeah,
I didn't like all the puppy videos on my primary channel.
Yeah. Yeah, you missed. Yeah, but the Ranger and the Elsa one is still up there because they'll be 3 years old. I think in the end of the year. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Couple more questions. So does it mess up the fertility of a male if they breed? They not.
No, you can breed a male. It takes them 2 weeks to recover their sperm.
Oh wow! See, I didn't know that neither. I'm glad you asked that. Good question, Adam. Yeah, you asked some good
So
questions.
they have enough semen in storage for about 3 breedings, sometimes 4. So if you, like, let's say you bred a dog and then tomorrow you bred him again, the next day his sperm count's going to be low, but it'll still be enough. The day after that, it'll probably be low again. But if you give them 2 weeks off, their sperm count will be recovered.
Hmm. Well, that's enough questions. I appreciate Lee for you taking your time out there, and we look forward to, like I said, if y'all want to join the group, it's free. You just gotta have a Sentinel already, or put a deposit on there, because we trying to make it, just a Sentinel group. Make sure you add that. Make sure you go to the American Sentinel Canine group on Facebook. A giveaway once we do that, trivia based. Um, yeah.
So somebody asked, who's going to produce the Bumper's athleticism and Vicious's athletic intensity? You could flip a quarter, dude. They're all freaking phenomenal. The only one that's going to be a little bit more masterful would probably be Cobalt and Biscuit. But with Biscuit being doubled up on Halo like she is, I still expect her offspring to be good athletes as well. You know, Cobalt, he may not be the athlete like that Congo is, but in some ways he's a different type of athlete. So it's not that he's not an athlete. He's just, it's like comparing Mike Tyson to Michael Jordan. They're both great athletes. They're just different.
Yeah, you're right. I can answer it from my perspective. So Jaguar is like, he's big, like 115. If you watch football, Jaguar will be like a defensive end, like Myles Garrett. But Chakra will be like Barry Sanders. She can do all types of stuff. Like, she like super fast. She quicker. She faster. The way she can jump and bounce off certain things. So they both athletic. It's just different.
Yeah.
It's good to use it. It's good to look at it as a sport.
And yeah, I mean, a marathon runner.
Yeah, it's different. It's different.
Is an athlete. Marathon runner is a supreme athlete. Exactly. A sprinter is a supreme athlete, but they're different.
Right. So it's the type of athleticism, but most of them is going to be athletic. It's just if you want and of course when they smaller, if you want the Barry Sanders, like the boom boom.
I like dogs that can jump on top of a car, and I don't mean the hood. I mean the hood. I don't mean the engine hood. I mean the hood on the top.
Yeah.
I like dogs that can jump.
Yeah.
So, I like my favorite dogs are going to be 60 to 90 pounds. I know 60 is small for protection work and hog catch, but they're still cool dogs. That's why I like the pit bulls. For
Mm-hmm.
protection and hog work, I like 70 to 90 pounds. When you get over 90 pounds, you start losing it. And a lot of these band dog breeders don't want to accept that, but it's true.
Yeah.
Like, how long? No, I'm not trying to disrespect Jaguar, but he's a big dog. He's how much?
115.
How long do you think he could run next to you while you rode a bike if it was 90 degrees out?
That's a good question. If it was a good question. But I can tell you right now, to be honest with you, like his stamina is better than hers. Like for breathing, because we do the same exercise, and I do like fetch for straight 20 minutes straight. Now that's probably because she's only 15 months though. But I'm
Is
a, you
she
know,
fast twitch
she fast
or
twitch. She
slow?
like Barry Sanders.
Okay, so
she like Barry Sanders. Like
yeah, and
she like that.
he's more of a, even though he's a big dog, he's more stamina built.
He like a defensive end.
Yeah.
If you watch football, yeah. So he like a defensive end. He can, you can see him. He can jump things. He can run, but he's not like her.
If they had the same build, do they have the same build or no?
Um, she getting taller too. I'll have to see. When I come to Mississippi, when I come to you will see more. It's kind of hard to see, but I can definitely know for sure she more athletic. She like, you know how Trinity was jumping around like judo. You see how Trinity. I remember the visual of Trinity.
You talking about Trinity or Hair Trigger?
Trinity.
I don't
Trinity.
remember Trinity
When
jumping.
you,
I remember
not
her
jumping.
playing with
She
her
was just moving
doghouse.
around. Yeah, she was just moving around. You got a video of her running around.
Yeah,
You don't
okay.
remember? Yeah, so she real like shifty and she real
Yeah, I
elusive.
remember.
She quick. Cause
Trin-
fast is
if you
one
have
thing, but she quick. Yeah. But Hair
if you
Trigger
have
can
Trinity
jump.
sorry, I got a delay here,
No,
and
go ahead.
it messes me up because I don't know you're talking until it's too late. My apologies. The I have a video of, or I don't know if it's on video, but I know Trinity. If you give her a doghouse, she doesn't stop beating it up. She just takes the doghouse and plays with it like a Kong toy, and she'll do it all day long. And when you get tired of listening to it, you just got to go take the doghouse and take it away from her. And then just she can't have a doghouse again until it gets cold. And then when it gets cold, you give her a doghouse. Or if it's raining, you give her a doghouse. But if it's not raining and it's not cold, then she don't get a doghouse.
And back to the athleticism, Lee. Say if you was getting a Sentinel for agility courses, then that's when you can differentiate the athleticism right there. Because you're gonna have to be a little bit more athletic to be top tier. You can still do it because they, but certain ones is gonna be like, if you're a running back, certain ones would be like Barry Sanders, and certain ones would be like Derrick Henry. So Jaguar would be like Derrick Henry, and she would be like Barry Sanders. Just to use a metaphor on the athleticism.
To me, a good athlete in a dog is, I imagine if I'm hunting and I'm in a ravine and I have to climb a cliff, I want my dog to be able to do it. I don't want to have to pick it up and carry it. There's nowhere that I can go that my dog cannot go. It should be able to go everywhere I can go. If I have to climb a 6 foot wall, the dog should be able to climb a 6 foot wall. I don't care if it has to jump off the side or grab it and pull itself up. That's fine. But it should be able to go wherever I could go. And I'm not talking about me as a 56-year-old man. I'm talking about me when I was young and athletic.
I
That's the way
agree.
I like my dogs.
Yeah, I agree. You got.
I,
I like girls like dogs that just want to work too. Because even if you're not the most athletic, but if you got a strong work ethic, that's gonna overcome a lot of the athleticism. Because you can be athletic, but you might not necessarily have the work ethic and the drives that want to do something. So certain things that can make up for it.
I remember back when I was in college and I had Akita. I had two Akitas, and I went hiking, and I would have to stop so my dog could lay down in the creek
Oh
or
yeah,
or
that's a
sit under the shade tree and catch its breath. And I
you
was
would
like,
get
this is
called.
ridiculous.
You would get
This
called instantly in my house.
this
I
was
wouldn't do
Akita,
it.
and I was like, man, this is ridiculous. A dog is supposed to be a domesticated wolf,
Yeah.
and a wolf can run all day.
You can't
Why
do
am I having to wait? Me, a human being, a two-legged,
Yeah.
non-competitive athlete. I mean, I was kind of athletic when I was in college, but I was not a competitive player. I was a non-competitive athlete, and I'm sitting here having to wait on a dog. This is ridiculous.
That's, I don't even have the patience because if you lazy doing that one, then you ain't gonna want to like the training going. You can do the training, but it's like not. I don't know. You just gotta work. I just can't have you living in here eating and you don't want to. You don't want to
Now,
work.
that female
You
Akita
lazy.
I had, she was athletic in some ways. I mean, that girl could run up a tree and catch a squirrel 10 feet high. It was
Oh
crazy.
wow. Oh okay.
Uh,
Well, she just didn't have the
but
drive.
she looked like she was built like a pit bull Akita cross, but cause she was jacked. But as far as stamina goes, no, she didn't have any stamina. Now my male, he was kind of leggy, and he could run a long time, but he would get hot if the weather was hot. He could only run a long time in the wintertime. He wasn't good at the heat. So
So out of
that's
all of your
something.
I'm sorry, my fault.
You're good.
Out of all of your dogs, who are some of the top ones that had the best heat, the best heat preference, best heat tolerance?
You know, I require that in all of them.
But it's degrees to it, Lee. But it's gonna be
Yeah,
degrees
I
even
honestly
though.
think the ones that all of our good dogs are good in the heat. I mean, you got to remember Mississippi, it's 95 degrees here, and I can go work any of these dogs in the summertime. So, I mean, we have 100-degree day weather. Now, I'm sure some of them with the finer bone, smaller head, and the slow twitch muscle are probably less apt to produce as much heat and more apt to dissipate heat. But as far as their determination goes, they're good. Congo, it's not Congo, Cobalt,
Cobalt, yeah.
being black and blocky, he's probably going to get hot faster because he's got a big head, big shoulder, he's kind of squatty, a tank. And if it's sunny out, now at nighttime it won't matter. That's my
Yeah.
opinion. Hair trigger being a leggy dog, not as heavy bone, thin head, long muzzle, a lot of places to dissipate heat from. Dogs don't sweat, so they can only dissipate heat through surface area and also respiration. They cool down with their mouth. Their mouth is their radiator.
So you would definitely say the longer muzzle.
Longer muzzle helps for sure.
Well, usually have. Will you say the longer muzzle equates to having better stamina?
If everything else is equal, but there's never is everything else equal. I mean, I had an English Mastiff Eclipse, Preacher's mother, that when I was cutting grass on 5 acres with my zero-turn mower or my tractor, she just wanted to attack it the whole day. And you would think I would literally be riding the tractor or the zero-turn, looking over to the kennel, thinking this dog's going to have a heat stroke, but she never did. She was good. But you could go find 100 Mastiffs, and you will not find one like that. That was just an amazing dog.
Right.
And she wasn't even leggy; she was stocky. I mean, I don't know if I can send you a picture to share, but Oh, it says here I can share it if you allow. I'll show you. I'll
Oh
show
yeah,
you a
go
picture
yeah.
of Eclipse. She was a stocky dog, but she was not heat sensitive. She was good. She could work all day, and it's crazy because it'd be 100 degrees out, and you're like, this girl's gonna fall over, but nope.
How much did she weigh?
She was 150 pounds.
Yeah, but she had great
I,
heat tolerance. So
you got the picture on the screen. You
oh yeah,
just got
yeah,
to
yeah.
share it.
She looked
And
preacher looked like her.
you would not expect that dog to have stamina, but she
Right.
did.
Wow.
It was weird.
She
I would be
she
looking over it.
preacher looked just like her.
I would be looking over at her thinking that dog's going to collapse and go into heat stroke, but nope. And she was acting a fool too. I'm saying hitting the fence, boom, 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 trying to get the lawnmower or the tractor.
So Lee, I don't mean it, if you gotta go, you gotta go. If dogs came from wolves and wolves got spectacular endurance, why has domesticated dogs heat tolerance um got lesser, or does wolves their heat tolerance is similar?
Poor
Would you
breeding.
say?
People
Hmm?
don't breed for people don't breed for ability.
Okay.
David Ishii makes a good point. That's somebody you should have on your podcast, even though this is an American Sentinel program.
Nah, yeah, yeah,
Dave,
yeah. I gotta
David,
interview David. Yeah.
you do have one.
No, I need to. I'm gonna reach out to him.
You know, he comments about why can a lion weigh 300 pounds and still move? Why can a tiger weigh 400 pounds and still move, but a dog can't even weigh 150? You
Yeah, I'm
know,
gonna have to
there.
reach out to him.
Osiris was a beast. He weighed about 140 pounds. He was giant. He was like, I don't know, 30 something inches tall, 31, 32 inches tall. I don't know. Uh, but that dog could probably jump a 6 foot fence. He was very athletic.
Yeah.
Osiris was an anomaly, though. If David Ishii could produce dogs like Osiris all the time, he would be. The Great Danes wouldn't exist anymore. That's great. Osiris was great. That's
So,
the best band dog I've ever worked that did not come from my program.
mm, and what made you say that? Is just his heat tolerance, his ability to overcome. Um,
His heat tolerance, his abilities, his stamina, his determination. I mean, he worked like a sentinel, but he was big, and you just don't find that. Like Eclipse was an anomaly. If I could find a dog like Eclipse, I would have bought three of them. You just don't find them.
so hopefully this thing answer y'all questions. Hit up
I
Lee.
don't
Let
want
us.
it now. I mean, I'm past all that crap. You know, those mastiffs. I don't want those mastiffs now. They shed everywhere. They drool everywhere. If I, how when Elsa got on my or chest in the
Yeah.
video, when she got off my chest, my shirt was still dry.
Yeah.
If that would have been a mastiff, I'd have had slime on me. I don't
Yo,
want that.
bite for yo. Hey, Red. I appreciate you asking those questions. Bite force is one of those. It's like a. If I don't, we all got accidentally bit. It hurts. So bite force don't really. In the domestic, it don't really mean. The only time I think it kind of means something when you talking about big cats, because jaguars can crush turtle shells, but leopards can kill, jaguars can kill, but jaguars bite force. That's kind of only time I really even talk about that. But in the dog world, bro, these dogs, man, I'm telling you, these dogs you just gotta see one in person, in action.
They're different. Some of them have a harder bite than others, but a lot of times it's did they want to bite.
Right.
Sometimes they didn't want to bite, and so they didn't really bite. If they bite out of prey versus if they bite out of defense, do they bite out of Some defensive bites are very uncommitted, and then some defensive bites are very committed. So you know, you can hold an egg in your mouth without cracking it if you don't want to crack it. You got to want to. These bite meters take that with a grain of salt. It depends on why. For, now, I'm not. I know that he's not doing this with his question, but these breed rankings of bite force, that's all fake. Because you can have two
Yeah,
pit
yeah.
bulls. You can have two pit bulls and one bites really soft and another one bites really hard. You can have a boar bull that bites really soft or bites really hard. So all that and that Kangal crap, you never find one documented on video with a high bite force. The only guy that even has a video of a bite force, the Kangal, is nothing special at all, and it doesn't make sense that it would be special. Now, an English Mastiff, you get a strong one, he is right about that. They can bite hard. English Mastiffs can bite very hard. But then there's also English Mastiffs that are couch potatoes, that are just marshmallows. They don't want to bite anything. Got to look at the dog.
How young is Hannibal? I'm not sure who Hannibal.
Hannibal's young. He's 5 months old.
Who's Hannibal out of?
Scratch and Onyx.
Oh yeah. That's fun. Yeah, so he's probably big. Those dogs are going. Now those dogs probably gonna get your size. You probably gonna have over 100.
Yeah, my female's big. Leela Jean, she's gonna be big like Ladysmith.
Yeah, she probably be about 95, 100.
Yeah, she's gonna be a big girl. I think she's gonna be. I think she might be bigger than him.
That's interesting. That's interesting. I look forward to seeing them. I look forward to I gotta talk to Adam and see when he coming, Aiden, and see when he coming back, making a trip back down there. I know that was only 3 weeks ago, but hopefully he's come back sometime this in the summer. You know what I mean? So I can finally make that trip down there and have some fun. But Lee, I appreciate you taking your time. This wasn't planned. The plan was for me to do it. I didn't know Lee was gonna come on here, so I appreciate you, Lee, for coming on there. Hopefully,
Hey, check this out. Let me give a shout out to Tyrion Badger. Sent me this for Scratch.
Oh yeah, shout out to Tyrion Badger. That's nice.
Pretty
Yeah,
cool,
that
huh?
was nice. Yeah, shout out to Tyrion. Yeah, that's awesome right there.
Yeah, and I got another one from a friend of mine from many years ago. This one may be a little dusty. It's been on the counter.
Oh wow. Okay.
That's made out of wood.
Who is that right there?
That's just a dog.
Oh, just a dog. Oh wow, that's nice,
Yeah.
man.
Old bulldog.
Oh yeah, you know what? For the people that want merch, Lee, you got what you got? You got hoodies,
Hoodies and hats.
hoodies
We
and
need to get
hats.
some more shirts made.
You got some
Yeah.
shirts that you can make too. Okay,
I need to get some more shirts.
more shirts. Okay.
Yeah. A lot of people said they wanted hoodies, and so we bought the hoodies. And then after we bought the hoodies, they didn't buy them. They just said they wanted them. So that happens.
Those are some nice hoodies too. So yeah,
Yeah.
make sure y'all hit Lee up for the noise. I got the green joint. It's real nice, high quality, nice color, and yeah, you get the little fitted hat. But yeah,
I have the fitted hat, but I also have the snap hats now. I don't like the snap hats as much though. They changed the design a little bit. I want to go back to this
okay.
design. It's still a decent design. It still says American Sentinel Canine. The only thing I don't like about it is the T for Sentinel. The cross on it is not real wide, so it's there. There is a cross on it, but it kind of looks like an L, so I don't like that. But if anybody in here wants an American Sentinel Canine hat, let me know. I'll sell those for half price.
Hear that? You hear what he said though? Make sure you hit him up. You want one of those caps? Make sure you hit him up. Get that, and make sure you get one of those hoodies. You know, unless you, because you never know when we do the thing. If you get lucky, you might be a winner. But if not, you just have double. So hopefully they answered all your questions. Make sure y'all put your deposit down. Make sure you know what you want. Do not ask for a free puppy. Now, if you come in and it already shows reserve, talk to Lee. He might change his mind and you might get the first pick. You never
Well, if
know,
it's
but
reserved to a client, I can't
not
sell it.
not a client. I'm talking about what's
Yeah,
just to myself.
right,
No, not a client. You can't cut the line on the client. Now, if
right.
you said reserved to myself, which is Lee, then you gotta talk to Lee like, hey Lee, boo 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 boo. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you never know. So yeah. Um, let me read this last two comments. We out of here. Crip. Lee, do you know
I'm
about?
not. I'm not sure who he's talking about. I don't like aliases. I may know the person by their real name. Can't say if I do or not.
Yeah. Appreciate y'all asking questions. Like I said, I didn't. We appreciate Lee for coming on here. And if there's anything else I can help you with, I'll try to help you out the best as possible. Join the exclusive Sentinel WhatsApp. I put the link in there. If you don't know the link, just send me an email jaguar@bandog at gmail, and then I'll send you the link and I'll add you on so you can be part of it. And you gotta have a Sentinel. I keep saying that because I be having people from like overseas and stuff, and I had to turn them down. I was like, I know you don't got a Sentinel. You in like London, so you was in different countries too. So yeah.
Yeah. Hey, and by the way, this person that's going by this name, the Cerberus Project, that person should not be confused with another individual that has a similar name, um, but two
Oh,
different people.
I seen. Oh, okay. Okay. I think I seen that name from somewhere too. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a different person. I try to avoid people with aliases. Now on YouTube, it doesn't matter, but as far as do I know this dog man in Mississippi? I don't know by the alias. I have learned over my years that when people use aliases, a lot of times they have sus- suspect behavior. So if you want to tell me your name, cool, we can do business. But if you don't want to tell me your name, then I'm a little suspicious about doing business with you.
Yeah. So he said like make a video on different types of athleticism. If Lee have time, but in the meantime, just think of it as a football and the different types of athleticism that each position makes. If you think
Yeah,
of it
and
like that one, that'll help you better.
the goal is for the Sentinel to be a breed, right? So we're if you go look at our dogs now, the amount of consistency that we have has really grown. They're a lot more uniform than they used to be because when you breed Mastiff Pit Bull Cross with Mastiff Pit Bull Cross, sometimes you get throwbacks on the Mastiff or throwbacks on the Pit. But now that we have a higher percentage of Pit Bull and we're breeding basically three-quarter Pit Bull or to three-quarter Pit Bull or two-thirds Pit Bull to two-thirds Pit Bull, it starts to become more like the Pit Bull and more uniform in that regard. And balance is the goal, the yin and the yang. Too much of one, you gain a lot of power, but you have no stamina, you have no heat tolerance, you have no agility. So, the bodybuilder is not going to be the person that does the gymnastics. So, too much of one thing can cost you in other areas.
So there you have it, guys. Like I said, hit Lee up, and if you also want some amazing pit bulls, amazing, I mean, hit up Lee for those lines.
Well, thank you for having a show about the American Sentinel, Jalik. I
Yeah, for
really
sure.
appreciate it.
Anytime, man. Yeah, anytime, man.
Yeah,
I appreciate you, man. Take your
we'll
time, man.
try to pay pay you for your efforts in some
Nah, you
way.
don't gotta pay. This is my selfless. I try to be selfless. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
I
that's
try
why
to
you
be
deserve to be
selfless.
paid some way. I didn't say in money, but people that do good things without asking for reward are the ones that deserve reward because it comes out of the goodness of your heart, and that's
I
appreciated.
appreciate it, man. I just like I like the Sentinel, and I just try to put people down because people be asking me so many questions, and I just like give them some information and do it because I remember when the next time I do it I gotta bring up the email that I sent you because I was asking about you responded too. I didn't think you was gonna give me a dog. I was gonna get Lee. If you didn't give me a dog, I was gonna get a Dogo Argentino, or I was gonna get a Dante Band dog from overseas. I was like, man, Lee looks strict. I said, man, this guy looks strict. He might not give me a dog.
We do
So
turn people down.
I know. So I have my backup plans. I have my backup plan. I was like,
Oh,
man,
he
a
wasn't
real
asking for a free dog. He
nah,
wasn't asking for a free dog. He was paying for it.
nah.
But
This I was asking about. I asked Lee. Do he have? Because I wanted a protection dog. I was like, do he? I think I asked him about something about imprinting, and he was like, nah, we don't imprint. And then I might have asked him, does he know some trainers or something like that? Then I said, okay. And then, because I had the mail. I was getting the mail off of I was originally gonna get the Reptar and the Halo mail, but she didn't take. And then Lee was like, you should get the bumper and the Ladysmith, because I was so stuck on it. I was like, man, I was like, okay, I just listened to him, and then the rest is what you see.
when you
I mean, I
say
wasn't.
we don't imprint, I wonder what your question was, because we
Yeah,
do
let me
imprint with
let me
sound.
say.
We
No,
imprint with sound. We imprint with ragwork and
I
and
was.
humans. But so I'm curious what your question was.
I gotta bring that. It was 4 years ago. 4 years ago. I mean, Jaguar just turned 4 days ago. Let me see. This is probably from. Man, I'm gonna have to bring it up. I'll read it on the next one. It was funny because I have my
No
backup
worries.
plan. Oh, here we go. I got it right here. Here we go. Actually, this was from 5 years ago. This was August. This was August 30th, 2021. Okay. Hello, Mr. Robinson. First, I would like to say super thanks for all that you do for the dog world that goes. I was trying to be extra nice. I was like, this guy is strict right here. I got to be extra. I said, like, I even call him Mr. Robinson. I said, hello, Mr. Robinson. First, I'd like to say super thanks for all that you do for the dog world that goes beyond your own American Sentinel program. I have a question regarding your puppy imprinting. I'm purchasing a home within 3 to 6 months. I'm looking for a personal protection sentry dog between 90 and 110 pounds that fit the description and also loves to work out. Once a client purchases one of your puppies, do you have a program to train the puppy? If not, besides obedience training, do you recommend taking your puppy through a specific trainer that knows how to deal with puppies that have your specific brand of prey drive, defense drive, etc.? Thanks in advance. And then you respond that I will help you find a trainer in your area if I can. Obedience is good to do when done with motivational methods. We have our own methods. Just watch our videos and get the feel for it. So yeah, this was August. Yeah, before
Yeah.
yeah.
Now compulsion can be worked. Compulsion is necessary in obedience also, but if you want to do protection work, do the motivational methods first, and then do your some imprinting on protection work, and then you can add compulsion in later on. If you do too much compulsion early with a puppy, you can suppress its drives. Even with a puppy, you can still do compulsion, but it just needs to be age appropriate. I know people that yank and crank, and you do that with puppies, you're going to suppress. You've talked about that,
Mm-hmm.
you know, about you had a video about what do's and don'ts with dogs or something like that. Yeah, and people, the dogs pick up on their masters. If a person's nervous, the dogs will be nervous. If a person's confident, the dogs will be confident.
Mm-hmm.
If you're the type of person that screams when the spider runs across the floor, then you're probably going to have a nervous animal because it's looking for you to be a guide.
A person like that need to go to the shelter and get a service dog.
Oh yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that. I don't want to keep dragging this on, but we have had people contact us for American Sentinels, and they say they want a service dog. The American Sentinel is not a service dog, y'all. If you want a service dog, you need a dog that's going to let everybody pet on it. Don't
Yeah, you probably want to get in
go
order
get
to
you a golden retriever.
even to be a real service dog, even amongst the dogs that do it, you got to be on a high. It's like a specialty beyond just the norm. They're exceptional. Like a real service dog are exceptional.
Well,
And
I
they
know
cost
people that have
yeah.
we've had people contact us that have like PTSD and whatnot, and they want a service dog, and I appreciate if they were in the military, but if these are people are, it depends on the situation, right? But some people are very depressed or very reactive, and you put an American Sentinel with a very reactive person, you might have a disaster. So I'm a very, not just my personality. If a tree fell on a car, I'm going to walk out there and be like, darn, a tree fell on my car. I don't get really worked up about it. You know, some things might work me up, but generally speaking, I can be in a high state of stress and people don't know it.
That's good when you're dealing with dogs. Like you said, dogs pick up on you. If you're a nervous breakdown, basically your dogs are like a reflection of you. So like, you, yeah, if you want to be a nice handler, you got to be confident and calm, and you know what I'm saying. If stuff get on you, if you real nervous, then your dog gonna be nervous. You know, you gonna make your dog so nervous. You know, being nervous, you got bad nerves.
This guy made a comment about when you're doing a breeding, do you generally speaking breed two dogs that have never been bred together, or do you like to take it to a dog that's been bred before? That's a good idea, when one of the dogs has already been bred, because if you breed two dogs that have never been bred together and the breeding doesn't work, then you don't know who's to blame. And I've done that before. I've bred two dogs together that it was their first breeding on both of them, and the litter didn't work out, and I ended up getting rid of one of the dogs and breeding the other one, and it didn't work so much the second time either. And then I realized I got rid of the wrong dog.
Mm.
So that's a good point.
Randall, do you have any experience? I,
No,
I,
I
I
don't.
seen one only. It was like a couple
I've
months
seen
ago.
them.
I seen one. They hard to find. They big too. They
They
tall.
were more common back in the 1980s and 90s, probably the 90s. You don't really see very many of those anymore.
Yeah, they got some size to them, and they got the little. They tall.
They're supposed to be
Yeah,
pretty gritty dogs,
yeah. I would
but
like to see one.
I had an American Sentinel once that had that ridge on its back.
Oh
The
wow.
hair was going like the back opposite direction.
Mm.
That was a good dog too. It was no there was no Rhodesian Ridgeback anywhere in that dog's pedigree. But I remember when it happened, I was like, "Wow, that's like a Rhodesian Ridgeback," because it had a ridge down its back. I cannot remember what dog that was, but I had that dog for a while. That was a good dog.
Mm. So Lee, I keep coming up with something. Is there like a, since you the breeding person, is there a breeding trick that you can do to like have all black sentinels? And is Cobalt considered all black, or is he
Cobalt looks
considered Brent?
he looks all black. Um, I'm trying to remember if we had brindles when we bred him. Well, we had brindles with Onyx, but that was from Onyx.
I think you had a
Who
couple
else?
brindles with Voodoo.
With yeah.
Voodoo.
Also, was he bred to Biscuit? I can't remember if I
He's
bred
about to
him.
be. He's about to be bred to
Oh,
biscuit.
yeah, it's just bred him. Yeah, just bred him to
Yeah.
Biscuit. Yeah. Duh. So yeah, we'll see,
Yeah.
because you can have a black. All right, brindle. What brindle is you have a fawn dog. Imagine you have a fence, and the fence is fawn, and then you go out there and you paint black stripes on the fence.
Mm.
That's what brindle is. It's black stripes painted on a fawn undercoat, or not
Oh.
undercoat, but a fawn base coat. And if you keep painting and you keep painting and you keep painting, even though it's brindle, because you're not making a black uniform coat, you're painting stripes. But if you paint enough stripes, it looks black.
Mm.
See, sometimes you have an all black dog that's really not an all black dog. It's a brindle dog that looks black because it just got a lot of stripes. And
So
stripes may not be
is
the right
all
name.
black a color? Is all black an
Yes,
actual
yeah,
color? Oh, it
absolutely.
is. Oh, it is a
Yeah,
color. Okay.
black is a legit trait. The way you know is when you breed black to a black, they're all black. None of them are brindle. You never get any brindles off a black dog if it's a true homozygous.
Okay, so can you do all black, and get fawn?
Um, yeah, black dominates. So think about like black. Look, can you hear me now? I hit a button on my thing.
Yeah, yeah, I can hear you.
So this is a mask, right? So if this was fawn, brindle covers fawn, but black dominates even brindle. So in fact, I've got you'll have to excuse my headset here, my hat. Let's see. I'm gonna send something to you if I can find it, and then you can put
Cause I be seeing
it
some dogs.
online.
Maybe it's them pit bulls. Maybe it's them Eli pit bulls that all of them be black. I don't be seeing no fawns. I
Yeah,
think it's
I've got
Eli.
it. Let's see if I can find this file. I'll screenshot it and share it, and then people can screenshot it if they want to. Huh. All right. I don't know if this is going to work very well, but I'll try.
You said, can anybody bring back the original English Mastiff? Ryan got one. Ryan got one. Aries, and she gonna breed her to Fury coming up, and she always bred to Danger. Aaron got a female for her.
All right. Can you put that on the screen?
Yeah.
Oh man, it's not showing up very well.
What you mean?
Let me do this a different way.
That's not cool enough, or
It's, you can't see it because it's the blue background.
no? I can see it. It look clear.
Huh.
It look clear on my end.
Ooh.
That's just on your end. That's just your end. On the screen, it look clear to us. A locus. It says a locus. Agati controls where black and yellow pigment on the body or individual hairs.
Am I still here?
Yeah. You looking on the screen? It's yeah. You still hear it? You just
Okay,
still
okay.
hear it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It doesn't look clear on my side. I see. I see Jaguar. I can see it, but it's not. You can't read it.
Or maybe if it's a way for you to send it, and then I'll share it right from my screen.
I'll do it a different way. Hold on. Let's see here. I don't know why I can't even see the screen until I minimize these other things. All right, let's do this. Let me close this. Remove from studio. Present. Screen share.
Yeah, cause I be wondering. I be like, man, I was like, every dog they got, I never seen they be having a black Eli dogs. They be all everyone as none of them be black. I'm like, they don't got no phone dogs.
I don't know why I can't see your screen. It's not even showing up in my windows. It's gone.
Just, I don't know. Maybe because if you send it to me,
No, I'm
No,
saying
I'm
I
saying
can't
I
even
can't even
see
see
StreamYard
StreamYard
anymore,
anymore. Oh, you can?
but it's
Oh.
weird. But I can
But I
hear
can
it.
hear it. Oh, you
So that
can?
doesn't make
Yeah, I don't know
sense.
why. Yeah, we probably tell. Yeah,
I have a
I have a
glitch in my
glitch in my
computer.
computer.
Let me do
It's all good.
Control
Control
Alt
Alt
Delete
Delete
and see
and
if it
see if
pops
it
up.
pops up.
Task
Task
Manager.
Manager. Oh, you got a Windows. So I guess we save it to the next time, or
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
I'll send it
I'll
to
send
you.
it to you. Yeah,
I don't know
I
what
don't know what
happened.
happened.
I don't know
I don't
why.
know
Let me
why.
try to
Let me
go to
try to go to
StreamYard, see if it
StreamYard, see if
shows
it
that way.
shows that way.
Nope,
Nope,
it's not
it's
there.
not there.
Oh well,
Oh well,
I'll send you
I'll
this
send you this
image.
image.
Let me send
Let
it
me
to you
send
on
it to you on
Facebook, and
Facebook,
then you can
and then you
share it
can
if you
share it
want
if you
to,
want
and
to,
people
and
can
people can
copy it.
copy it.
Just go to
Just go to
your
your
Facebook
Facebook
Messenger.
Messenger. All right.
All right, I
All
sent
right,
it
I
to
sent
you.
it to you. All right. Let me see.
I had a
I had a
computer glitch
computer
though
glitch
because
though
it
because
doesn't
it
show me
doesn't
if
show
I'm
me if I'm
using
using
Chrome or
Chrome
what,
or what,
Mozilla
Mozilla
or
or
Google.
Google.
I don't know
I don't
how
know
it
how it
closed,
closed,
but yet you
but
can
yeah,
still
you can
hear me.
still hear me. Yeah. So
Any,
we gonna talk.
anyway, since
Anyway,
we're
since
having
we're having
technical errors,
technical
I'm going to
errors,
go
I'm
ahead
gonna
and
go ahead and
bounce.
bounce. Yeah, yeah. So it's all good. Yeah, I appreciate you, Lee. Make sure y'all hit Lee up. And once again, appreciate y'all coming through and asking questions. Peace, y'all.
Oh, I
Oh,
found
I
it.
found it. You okay? Put us.
I see.
I
I was
see.
in
I was in
Bing and
Bing
didn't
and
know it.
didn't know it. So you got it. Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
So these
So
are
these are
the
You can make
five
it bigger.
loci.
Loci. You can make it bigger.
Yeah. Let me
Make the
zoom
font.
in.
Yeah, make it where. Make it one more bigger. Yeah, yeah, there we go. Yeah, there we go.
All right.
There we go.
All right. So
All
we
right.
have
So
the
we have the
five
five
loci.
loci.
Let's see
Yeah.
what this looks like on
Like
your
on
end.
your end. We'll clip this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So
So
there.
there.
Now you can
Now you can
scroll up,
scroll up,
or I'll
or I'll
scroll it.
scroll it.
So this
So
is
this is
where you
where
have
you have
black
black
versus
versus
yellow,
yellow. Mm-hmm.
and then you
And then
have
you
the
have
K
the K
locus, which
locus,
is
which
a
is a
solid
solid
color
color
or
or
a gaudy, a
a
goody. I
goody.
don't know how
I
to
don't know how
say
to
it,
say it.
but
But
basically,
basically,
what we have
what
is
we
the
have is the
dominant black
dominant
or the
black or the
brindle or
brindle
the
or
yellow
the yellow
non-black.
non-black.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So the
So the
first one is
first one
whether
is
you're going to
whether
be
you're going to be
sable or
stable or
tan
10
points or
points or
recessive black.
recessive
This
black. This
recessive black
recessive
is
black is
really
really
rare,
rare.
so you're
So
not
you're
going to
not
see
going to
that
see
in
that
most
in most
breeds.
breeds.
You
You
mostly see
mostly see
dominant black
dominant black
on the K
on the K
locus.
locus.
So
So
these are the
these are the
variants for
variants for
black. So
black.
you
So
have
you have
KB, which is
KB, which is
black,
black,
KB
KB
black.
black.
So this is
So this is
homozygous
homozygous
black.
black.
Then you have
Then you have
KB
KB
black
black
with
with
K
K
brindle,
brindle.
but the
But the
black
black
is
is
dominant to
dominant
the
to the
brindle.
brindle.
And then you
And then
have
you have
KB
KB
black
black
to
to
fawn,
fawn.
and the
And the
black
black
dominates the
dominates the
fawn.
fawn.
Then for
Then for
brindle,
brindle,
you have
you have
homozygous
homozygous
brindle
brindle
or you
or
have
you have
brindle with
brindle with
fawn.
fawn.
So in these
So in these
first ones,
first ones,
all three
all
of
three of
these are going
these
to
are
be
going to be
black.
black.
And the
And the
second one,
second one,
can you see
can
my
you see my
mouse or
mouse
not?
or not? Yeah, I can see everything. Yeah.
All right, so
All right. So
these are going
these
to
are
be
going to be
brindle
brindle
dogs.
dogs.
And then
And
for a
then for a
fawn
fawn
dog,
dog,
you're going to
you're
get
going to get
KY,
KY,
KY.
KY.
That's going to
That's
be
going to
your
be your
fawn dog.
fawn dog.
Now,
Now,
if you have
if
a
you have a
black
black
dog,
dog,
you can
you can
modify that
modify that
black to a
black to a
brown.
brown.
So
So
here you
here
have
you
a
have a
black
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 or a
or a
black
black
brown, but
brown,
in
but
both
in both
cases,
cases,
you see
you see
black
black
because
because
black
black
dominates.
dominates. Mm.
But if you
But
have
if you have
a
a
dilute
dilute
brain,
breed,
a
a
diluted
diluted
brown,
brown,
I guess
I
you could
guess you
call
could
it
call it
diluted,
diluted,
maybe not,
maybe not.
but like a
Like a
chocolate lab,
chocolate lab,
that's
mm-hmm.
going to
That's
be
going to be
two
two
little
little
browns. But
browns.
this is a
But this is a
modified
modified
black.
black.
So
So
brown
brown
dog is
dog is
actually a
actually a
black
black
dog that's
dog
been
that's been
modified.
modified. Mm.
So
So
up here
up
you
here
might
you
have
might have
KB,
KB,
KB, but
KB,
then
but then
somewhere else
somewhere
you have
else you have
little
little
b,
b,
which
which
turns
turns
this
this
black
black
into a
into a
brown
brown
dog.
dog. Mm.
Then you have
Then you have
dilute,
dilute,
which makes
which makes
blue.
blue.
So full
So full
strength is
strength is
Big D,
big D,
or Big
or
D,
big
little
D,
d.
little d.
This is
This is
full
full
strength,
strength,
which means
which means
black
black
or
or
brown is
brown
going to
is
be
going to be
black or
black or
brown.
brown.
Then you have
Then you have
little
little
d,
d,
and this can turn a black to a blue, or a brown to a like a tawny,
Mm.
like or Isabella silver.
Mm.
Okay, and if you have a fawn dog, the dilute doesn't do anything to the hair because it only affects black pigment or brown or chocolate pigment. So it would only change the nose. Like if you had a fawn dog with a black nose, now you have a fawn dog with a chocolate nose or a brown or a blue nose. And then you have an extension. This is where you get your red nose from. So you got Biggie, then you got your mask, and then here's your red nose right here, recessive red, little e. When both of these e's are lowercase recessive, then you have a red nose. Now, what's weird is even though this is a recessive gene, when you get two little e's on this loci, a lot of these things up here don't matter. It becomes a red nose, even if it's something else above. So if you breed a red nose to a red nose, you're only going to get red nose. But if you breed a red nose to a fawn, you would think you couldn't get brindle, but you might because this red nose might carry a brindle gene and it blocked it. So now, when you're bred to a fawn, you no longer block the brindle. So it's kind of a weird situation where you talked about if you breed a fawn with a fawn, you can only get fawn. Yes and no. It depends on if that fawn is a true fawn or is it a yellow from a recessive red. So it's more complicated than people think.
Mm.
I don't really worry about color. I breed for performance.
Right. I got you. It's fun. It's like one of those nerd topics, you know. You just kind of know. But yeah, yeah. Once again, Lee, I appreciate you for all the information, man. For sure.
My pleasure. Thanks
Yeah.
for all the
Thanks.
work you do.
Anytime. No, anytime, man.
You take care. Have a
All
blessed
right,
night.
take it easy. All right.